What's up, shooting fans? It's a beautiful, kind of windy, actually, Sunday morning out here in Alberta, south of Calgary, for the Rocky Mountain Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge.
You
This
betcha.
is PRS Sports at its finest. We're actually already underway. We're sitting here at stage one. It is underway. We're going to introduce you to the stage. You can kind of watch what's going on while we do that, and then we'll really get into it. So. The Rocky Mountain Challenge is we were coming to you live yesterday. We're doing the same thing today. We were on stage 18 yesterday, which was the last stage. We're on stage 1 today, which is the first stage.
Yeah.
This stage is called Over a Barrel. What just happened? I just lost my shooter camera.
Nope. Let something go on.
That's We'll get that back.
Yeah, we'll get that figured out.
But let's let everybody. Why don't we do this? Why don't I go fix that camera? You let everybody know what this.
Oh yeah, I'll go through the course fire here. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a 2-minute stage, and our total points available for this stage is 12 points, so 12 rounds. So shooter will start standing in the designated starting position with magazine inserted, bolt to the rear, all gear on hand. On the start signal, shooter will move to the wheelbarrow and engage targets from large to small with 1 round each from the 3 designated shooting positions. Our designated shooting positions are the rung of the wheelbarrow, the tire, which has been welded to the axle, so the tire itself will not rotate, and then the rung to the right. Shooters are moving left to right. Shooters will repeat this sequence twice. So they'll move left rung, wheel, right rung, repeat. For a total of 12 rounds, 1 shot at each target from each position. We have our close target 2, which is currently in our scope cam. It is sitting at 489 yards, and target 1, which is not shown in the camera currently, is at 602 yards. So this is definitely going to be a interesting position body-wise, just because the wheelbarrow is kind of a low target, but also the handles of the barrel kind of interfere with the leg knee placement of the shooter, and that tire is quite a bit forward. So conforming the body to the shape of the wheelbarrow to get stable is going to be kind of the tricky part.
Yeah, you can get the rifle in there, but getting yourself in there is another matter.
Getting yourself in there is definitely going to be the other matter in that regard. Also, right now, we are seeing winds right now that we basically saw at the end of the day yesterday.
This might even be more than the end of the day yesterday.
I would garner so. Unfortunately, I do not have the old Kestrel out for wind speed, but I'd say it's predominantly a northwest wind where our shooters are shooting west. So we got that 45-degree angle wind. So shooters will have to make sure they got a good read on that.
And here we got one up right now. So we're looking at the 400-yard target.
489-yard target.
So we're gonna have to just listen to see if they call impacts for the other targets.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. Well, it looks like bolt is closed.
New shooter, first notch.
Yeah, taking his time. That's good. Make hits, not time. That's what I tell new shooters. Shot goes off, no call. Bolt has closed again.
I didn't hear anyone call impact, but I did hear something. I'm just not sure if it was on our stage or not.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
So definitely taking his time. He's dialing for his next target right now.
Yep.
Now on this stage, sorry, we go to the. It's the close target first.
I think the close target is second.
Close target is second.
Yes.
Okay. So his third shot was a impact. And I hear no call for impact on the fourth. So we're moving to a different position. Having trouble stabilizing the rifle on the stands of the wheelbarrow. Big surprise there.
That right rung is a little bit sketchy, and I think that is time. So not too many shots off, but again, spending time behind that rifle to get ready is going to eat up your time. That target acquisition, that's a big thing.
And now we've lost our downrange camera for some insane reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay. I can cover that if you want to.
Yeah, nope, for sure. Yep.
A couple of comments, a couple of our viewers watching. So Bending wants to know whose Silverado it is. I don't know who's watching the Silverado behind us. Apparently Bending is. That is Mr. Ocho's Silverado. Jens wants to know the yards. So the first target that people are shooting at on this stage is 602 yards. The second target that people are shooting at on this stage is 489 yards. So they're starting at target 1, then they shoot target 2, move position, shooting at target 2, then moving target 1, and rinse and repeat. So we do have another shooter up right now. We have other shooters who don't care about cameras, which is, pretty typical. They're not used to having cameras around there. So that's all right. We have lost our downrange camera. We've got Rick O'Shea out there trying to get it up for you guys right now. Our first shot was not an impact. He is acquiring the second target. His bolt is closed. I'm actually going to... That one was an impact. So that would have been at the 489-yard target that we just saw that impact from. Jens wants to know the meter. I don't care what you want, Jens. I will tell you the yards because that's what they put on the program. No impact on that shot. That should have been at the 489-yard target. So now we'll be looking at the 600-yard target. And I hear no call for impact on that one either. The target that you guys are looking at downrange, that is the 489-yard target. So we don't quite have enough cameras this go around to be able to see both targets. That was an impact there on that'd be the fifth shot at the 600-yard target. And we see an impact there now at the 489-yard target as well. This one's got to be challenging for these guys. There's no way that this is helping anybody.
No,
and he runs out of time there. He's finished up with 2 impacts though, which is good.
That's 6 shots.
So we'll do the collecting of the brass and moving out, switching shooters, and then we'll move right along. This wind is definitely heavy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is gonna punish a lot of shooters.
Yeah, it is a heavier sustained wind and heavier gusts, and the gusts are more frequent than they were yesterday as well.
Yeah,
I mean, like you said, we didn't bring the Kestrel out, so we can't tell you the exact wind speed. But this is the first time doing this. I think next time we'll bring the Kestrel with us so that we can give everybody what those wind speeds are. But
yeah, I'm estimating at least 5 to 7 right now.
Yeah, you can see
it. That's probably a pretty conservative guess.
And you can see it in our target camera. It's shimmying and shaking a lot more than it was yesterday.
We even have a shooting bag, a weighted shooting bag, help holding it down to stabilize it.
Shaking.
Still imparting movement on it, so that's kind of a good perspective thing there.
So our next shooter is up. We've got the magazine inserted, and he's just waiting for his ball to go. I think he's going to pick up his tripod. There he goes.
Yep. Yeah, I think we'll definitely
And the
see
timer starts.
some rear tripod in action in this, especially for those rungs. Just got to splay those legs up. Don't need it tall because your position is low.
Yeah, quick deployment.
Get it tucked in there. Yep.
So he's going on the left.
It's a little bit
Rung.
awkward. You can tell he's just trying to adjust it there, but he got it set.
This should be at the 600-yard target. We have no call for impact. So we'll now be at the 489. You guys should be able to see this one if it's an impact.
No.
We have no impact. So he is dialing again. He's going to be switching positions. He's going for the wheel.
Yeah, you notice how that
This will be at the 489 as well.
he's kind of, you got to lean into that, your chest into that rung, which is definitely going to be kind of awkward. But
that hit eludes him. He's dialing now for 602. He's going to bring his tripod up. He wants that rear support, I guess. He's only on 2 legs of that tripod, though. I don't know how much support that's going to give him, but he seems to like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely
We have an
tricky.
impact.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome.
He makes the hit at the 602, moving positions, and he's going to be going for the 602 again.
There, for that. Now on this rung, your tripod for your right hand shoot is a lot more forgiving because that wheelbarrow's out of your way.
Yeah, no doubt. Impact again on the 602. You can hear that one. That was a good hit. He dials. He is closed bolt. We're going for the 489. And it still eludes him.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those mental game things where sometimes the further targets end up being hit more, just because sometimes mentally it's like in the shooter's mind, it's like, well, that's kind of pushing it. I don't know if I'm going to hit it. The body relaxes, the mind relaxes. They get a nice trigger pull, and all of a sudden they're surprised by that impact.
Right, yeah.
So it can be a little bit of a mental thing that is a little bit counterintuitive, if one would say.
Makes sense. We're switching out the shooters. Not a lot of picking up on the brass so far. Stage like we saw yesterday. There's at the entrance to the event. It's just full of brass that didn't get picked yesterday.
Yes.
So there's clearly some people who care about their brass more than others. Multiple different calibers there. They're looking for all kinds of different calibers there. There's 308 brass.
I didn't know how wobbly they were. I would have thought they came in
calibers that people were shooting at the event.
Yep.
I don't.
Yes. Yep. And technically the day before.
And technically the day before.
Let's not forget the RO shoot.
Yeah.
I would have used that bag.
2-day match. The RO's got the shooting match on Friday before
Yep.
the main event. So our next competitor has his magazine in. He's checking his dope card.
Right choice. Yeah.
Smart play.
Everything good. He's got
Be aware of that.
this little handbag there, and he's also got the pump pillow. He's gonna tuck that in there between his elbow and his body.
Left rung seems to be popular for the first.
Well, it actually is the first designated position.
Oh, it's the designated position.
Yes.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So his bolt is closed. He's going for the 602. There's no impact there.
Yeah. No.
He dials down to the 489. And his bolt is closed. We have no impact at the
Elusive.
489. People are making hits at the 6 more than the 489. right now.
Yes, I think chances are we might be jinxing it. I think if we move the spotter,
If we move the spotter camera to the 602, then everyone's going to hit the 489.
yes,
It's just the way it works. Just incentive to get more cameras up for the next time we do this.
exactly.
That was also at the 489. Unfortunately, not a hit. He's dialing up, double checking his dope. He's closed bolt. Unfortunately, another miss there.
Yeah. The awkward part about that position is basically the right knee has to be on that hard wheel like steel bucket of the barrel.
Right.
So that is a little bit tricky. You'll commonly see knee pads now, like the in pants knee pads, being worn, just because sometimes you're kneeling on something rough, and that could add to your mental game if you're feeling a little bit of pain. So you'll see attached and detached knee pads.
Yeah, I mean, comfortability is really got to play a factor in your steady hold too, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Because if your mind is not focused on what it's doing, then it's not good.
Unfortunately, he'll be coming away with a 0 for that stage. But I mean, with this win, I mean,
yeah,
you can only do what you can do. It's got to be pretty tricky making these hits right now. I mean, both of these are not by any stretch the furthest targets of the day, but you know, the closest target being 489 yards is still a good clip away.
Yeah, and it is a tough set of positions too.
So we're getting
because
ready.
it's an obstacle to the shooter as much as it is a support.
Magazine is in for our next shooter.
I have a dial 0.5 and I got lost. So, yeah, I'm on 0.7. Dude,
I'm not sure what's going on here. I feel like we're at a wedding, seeing if anybody has anything to say or
any objections, suggestions.
When did I not? Okay, now we're ready to go. We get the nod from the RO.
And time starts.
We're on the left rung, which I now am aware that he has to do.
Yeah, it is in fact the first position.
So again, we're going to be going for this 602-yard target right now. He's taking his time getting his position.
You can't really see from the camera angle on the shooter, but he's got that left arm nice at the fore end of the rifle. Help push down on it. Help reduce that recoil so he can spot
Unfortunately,
his shot.
First shot was not a hit.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Back to the 489-yard target. Can't connect with that one either, unfortunately. We're up to the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
He just dialed, which means he's probably going to be going for the wrong target. Because we should be seeing this one at the 489 again, but his hand was on that turret, so he did dial. And I think he's probably going at the 62 right now.
Find out. Yeah,
no connection.
Definitely did not work out for him. Now, just a reminder: in PRS, there is no coaching on the clock. So, if a impact on an incorrect target is made, there will not be a call,
and he will be confused.
But yeah, he definitely a confusing situation for the shooter.
I did that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very common to do.
Only done one PRS event and I did that.
Yes. Also, just so you know, that is your qualification. You just need to do one PRS match, and
now you're an expert.
You're fully qualified.
You're fully qualified. Well, wait a minute. I did a rimfire PRS match too. So wow, I'm like
you're
double expert.
You're double XL, double X qualified.
Double X qualified.
And there he is. Time.
Unfortunately, I think after that first stage, I think he was going backwards on the targets, but I don't think that there were any connections on it either.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing a couple of zeros on this stage, and I can really understand why with this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Donut Club is a relevant thing for some shooters here in this match.
And that's the thing about PRS. You know, I mean, you kind of expect to see hit all the time. You know, the majority of people making the majority of the hits, but that's not necessarily the case. I mean, the stages are challenging, and there are a lot of variables that even the stage organizers can't count on.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest being the environmental factor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can't determine how sunny it's going to be, how cloudy it's going to be, how windy it's going to be, how hot it's going to be. That's just going to be what it is at the time, and different. Even from stage to stage, you may have one group shooting the stage with very low wind.
Mm-hmm.
The very next group might come in, and you've got big, I don't know if gale force is really the right word, but you know, wind. It's certainly going to be much more of a factor in your ability to make those hits.
Yep. Also, even subtle factors like the moisture of the ground. If it is quite dry, it'll be dusty.
There's our first impact at the 602-yard target. Kirsten's giving me shit. She says, "What do you mean you can't control the weather?" No offense, but a comment like that coming from a lady who can't even get her own child out of her body.
There we go. Oh, we have impact on target.
49, right as soon as I shit talk Kirsten, that's
Exactly. Yep.
Kirsten.
Yes.
I should shit talk Kirsten more. That's how.
Oh yeah, another
another
impact.
at the 489. So he's back to the. He didn't dial though. He's holding over at the 602.
No, it's large, small.
What do you mean?
So far near.
But after the near, he had to go to the far.
Yes.
He didn't dial between them.
May have held over.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh,
That's all I was saying.
another impact on
Oh, really?
target 1.
Which should be the 480 or the 602, right?
Yeah.
And then
Been
didn't
steady
connect
and
to the 489.
nice.
Now we should be back at the 489 and no impact there. And it looks like he's just holding over on all of his target changes. Yeah,
Oh, there's some dust at the 602, but
no impact.
no impact.
That's okay. He gets another shot at it right now off the wheel.
Oh, I should clarify. So it's
It's an impact. And no impact at the follow-up at the 489.
just a clarification on the stage instructions. The shooter will start with the targets large to small from the 3 designated positions.
Right by your left knee there.
And then after those 3 designated positions are used, the shooter will repeat the sequence, starting again at the first position, but this time engaging targets small to large.
Did we completely misunderstand
Far
this?
from our own squad,
Should we
please.
understand?
We'll have next squad. Yeah. I'm on asking for us.
So the first goes
You're good, but
And bolt to the rear. Here to use
We have
your
a
hand.
whole
At the service
squad
signal,
here
shooter
for that.
will move the wheel burning.
Go ahead, Lord, make ready.
large. 1 round each from each of the 3 designated starting positions. Starting position 1. Sequence of starting position 1, but this time
You're ready.
small. Oh my God.
Mm.
Okay. So everybody who's gone has been going 602 to 489. Most people haven't gotten far enough to go 489 to 602.
yes.
Good God. It's extremely important for the commentators
We got a little bit of
to
bag
understand the
filling
course
here.
of stage.
You can grab a second bag.
Stage. So that's the course of stage.
First stage.
Yeah. Course of fire on the stage. We are finally set up here. The bolt is closed. And that would be at 602. Didn't make connection. 489.
Impact.
We do see an impact. He's over to the wheel, so now we now understand he should be going back to the 602.
Yeah. Apologies for the tarp noise, but the wind has picked up even more.
Even more, yeah. We got a big one right now.
I would not doubt if we are hitting 10-mile-an-hour mark. Northwest wind.
I suspect it's even coming through on our microphones at this point. So this should be. Did I miss a shot?
I was commenting on the wind.
Yeah, me too. This should be at the 489 though.
Yeah.
And we see an impact there. So now we're going at the 489 yet again. There's a nice shot of Rick's wonderful face.
Mm-hmm.
No impact there at the 489. Back to the 602.
That it?
Now, are they going to give him that shot?
We'll see if it is a buzzer beater.
I see some heads nodding yes. So I'm assuming that means the RO gave him that last impact, which is very nice if you're the shooter.
Yes, quite warranted if he made he's in his basically in his stage time, the wind did pick up. So that is good adaptation on his behalf.
Yeah, he just took a little bit of a shit sandwich there. The wind just came up hard as soon as he was ready to go.
Yep.
Let's take a moment to very quickly remind everybody we are live streaming right now on Facebook and on YouTube. But we are also live streaming on Rumble. Now, you are not able to comment live for us to see on Rumble. However, if you are watching either of the other two streams and either of those streams end up going down for you or
whatever,
you know what I'm talking about, then take your ass on over to Rumble, log in there, and you'll be able to Rumble. So we're switching over right now. Walking in front of the camera just a few moments ago was Shane Mansour giving zero regard to our cameras.
But definitely a sponsor of this match, EM Precision Rifles.
Oh yeah,
Duke Alberta.
Shit talking.
It's okay. He is a tough unit. I'm sure he can handle it.
I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't like me shit talking him.
Yeah. They do have the finest precision rifles. They're in Leduc, Alberta.
And they are in Leduc, Alberta. That is correct. Now, here's the real question. Should we bring Shane over after he's done shooting the stage so that he can talk shit about everything? Or should we bring his wife Carrie over?
Well, let's just say I have my mind made up.
Yeah, how about that? Hey, Carrie, after you shoot, you gonna come talk to us? Yep.
Are we doing honest opinions?
Well, you're going to clean the stage, so you're just going to tell us how you clean the stage.
All we'll tell you, we're going to bring you over instead of Shane.
Yes.
Oh, we're live
right now.
Yeah, we've been live for the last half an hour.
Yeah.
Miscalling most of the people we're going at.
Because
I don't
we're
know, 25 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brass monkey, what? Do you need a brass monkey shirt? Oh, Malcolm is the brass monkey.
Is the brand Malcolm. Brass
Everybody watching, talking with Corey and her son at the moment. Malcolm is apparently the brass monkey.
It's like, oh, fuck, we'll problems they come in.
Oh.
Okay.
Here, why don't we just mic you guys up?
He's
I mean, you're talking.
protege.
We'll have a microphone.
Protege.
How's the shoot going so far, Carrie?
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Now we've been hearing it's a very challenging shoot. This wind isn't going to help you guys. Huh?
Oh no, definitely not. But as long as it stays one direction, it'll be okay. I'm used to shooting in wind.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting some nice gusts so far.
Yeah. It was nice and quiet when we first got here, but it's picked up substantially.
Has it been easy spotting your targets?
It's been easy seeing the targets, trace, and impacts, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, even sitting here, we've seen, even so far today, we've seen one splash.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet.
Even
And the
yesterday,
ground
maybe
is
three.
Yeah.
the ground is just sucking up all the misses, so you can't. It's hard to correct when you can't see anything.
Yeah.
You occasionally catch trace. You're like, ooh, I saw that one.
Yeah. Now, from a shooter's perspective, I think the wind is doing something different downrange than here right
Oh,
now.
probably.
Yes. Have you been able to determine that, however?
Well, no, I don't know.
I suppose that's the whole trick.
That is the whole
I just
trick.
keep missing. That's all I know.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you having fun?
I am. Yeah, I always have fun. A good day at the range is better than any other day.
Exactly. Way to go.
Yeah, that's right.
I was shooting. Yeah, having a good time.
He's-
He's not making enough hits yet.
We'll wait to talk to him a little later. Yeah, he forgot to adjust the neck, so he's hammering his bolt down.
So not only is he perpetually pessimistic, but he's fighting his rifle
to be angry with his gun every
Yes.
every single round. Yeah,
He did that on purpose.
he might have.
Yeah. He totally did that on purpose.
Might have. I wouldn't
Yeah.
put it past him. It's like, wham!
How many people are in your guys' squad? You guys look like you have a smaller squad.
I think we have 10 yesterday and 9 today.
Yeah, we're down a guy today.
Oh, you're down.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is the rest of your squad?
Oh, probably still at the last stage. Carly
Everybody's
showed up
walking
and we'd
over
finished
518.
shooting, so we left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'll take the ride when I can get it.
Making the long walk or ride.
Well, you know what? Honestly, that's not even the worst thing. This is not the worst walk I've ever made.
No
Yes.
doubt, right?
It's short and all things considered.
At least it's a nice, break
Hmm.
through all the golf balls.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
Pulled my 180 4 times.
Mhm.
We'll quit doing that.
Yeah. I told him, eyes on the ground and walk with intent.
Especially as the professional grassman.
That's right.
I should be on the ground.
100%.
Yeah.
Again, I told him
So how are you guys enjoying the bathroom facilities in the center there? They're
Um,
quite swanky washrooms.
I would have said something, but it's on air, so
Oh no, we have to talk about the washroom.
Yes.
they're amazing. I went in there, I'm like, oh,
This is it.
standard has been set. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, don't use.
Yeah,
the
we're not
porta
talking
potties.
about the porta
Who
potties.
uses porta potties?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm holding it until I'm close to the nice ones.
That seems like a smart.
Yeah,
The
right.
porta potties are there for urgency
Yes,
purposes.
exactly.
So how's your squad holding up? Is everybody keeping hydrated? Lots of
Oh
food?
yeah, it seems everybody's doing good spirits, and you know.
Those ultimatum. Those ultimatum
Oh, today.
Yes.
I actually zeroed. I think it was 5 stages in a row yesterday.
Oh really?
Yep.
Yeah.
That make you feel?
Not great. Yep.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
I don't know. I didn't even make it to the offhand.
Yes.
It looked hard for those who made it.
But I'll
Now-
bet you didn't have to fight your rifle.
Yes, I did not have
I'll
to.
bet you your rifle's running too.
Yeah,
Now, question: do you practice offhand shooting or support shot shooting?
never. Never. My practice, honestly, is the matches.
Okay.
We shoot right-handed.
Mhm.
I hope
Not
so
meant
too.
left-handed.
I've been putting
Fair enough.
I have shot it left-handed
Mhm.
at a match and have not done well.
I can just understand by watching it. I'm grunting and building with position.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
hear my dad
tricky.
grunt.
It's tricky.
Mhm.
When is Brass Monkey gonna shoot?
Colton's next Prairie Precision, the
Next
Cypress.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I have
When
given
is-
my.
When is it?
Yes,
August 12th?
So like next month,
Oh, I don't remember.
are you gearing up?
Yeah.
Are you sizing your cartridges properly so that you don't have to fetch a bullet?
Mine's all factory.
Oh, factory?
Yeah, mine's factory.
Ah, yes.
I've been helping my dad lately.
Yeah, no.
That's
Watching TV and just loading ammo.
Mhm.
So are you the reason that his length is
No,
up?
don't blame me for that.
Well, he keeps saying that those ones were loaded with love. So his love is fighting back a little.
I would love to hear Shane explain what that means. That it's loaded with love.
Yeah, but-
Mhm.
well, Malcolm was sitting there pressing the bullets in, and he's like, "This one's made with love. This one's made with love."
Oh, that's what's happening.
It was cute.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All the bullets with love.
not anywhere.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Tough love. That's the way Shane rolls, anyways, right?
Well, I'm not sure.
You might be right.
Everything, something has to be exciting.
Yep.
You got to have a purpose.
You do. You
Yeah.
definitely do. And if he's not fighting something, he's not happy.
I kind of want to come over here so that we can hear his.
Yeah.
Oh,
there he is.
Really taking your time getting your stage set up.
Well, I think we were the first I was the
I gotta be
second
careful what I
shooter,
say.
maybe? So we were done pretty early, and
So
so we popped down.
Jordan used that
Pretty
response there, and
Yeah, we just had the side by side arrive.
he was
We
like,
just had free
so
20
generous,
something
kind in
show up.
response.
Yeah,
He couldn't get underneath it all.
Everybody
Like,
else
shoot,
is
coming from it. I
walking.
thought you were for it.
Rob
Carly
was
said that
walking,
too.
and Rob's like in his early
What I have,
50s
I
now.
have.
isn't
Who's that? Rob?
he? Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's just 50.
he's just 50.
I think.
And we got the 20 somethings arriving by
Yeah.
quad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was
No, he can't be.
no.
He looks too good for 55.
Right?
Yeah.
Although somebody pegged Shane and Rob to be brothers last night, and Shane laughed and said, "No, it's my
He shaved
dad."
his beard, though, so it doesn't match anymore.
Right?
He's got shaved legs too over there. That guy's big.
Apparently the wheels look stable.
Yeah.
About what?
Well, first of all, you have to hold the microphone at least reasonably.
Right
close
here, right here.
to
I don't.
you. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not on my mics very often.
I do. You look.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Your sunglasses are amazing.
I know. You know what? If you can't shoot well, you gotta look hard.
Yeah, I wish I had an extra camera that I could point at you right now.
No. You gotta charge for that.
I'm not charging anything.
I've got a monthly subscription. Easy does it.
As I'm talking to Shane, our shooter camera has gone down.
Yes,
But,
unfortunately.
I'm going to give it a couple of moments before I go put it
Yeah.
back up. 'Cause I don't think
Why would you pick this stage with the jankiest prop you could find? You're not getting any impacts on
that's why I'm
video.
doing it.
This is a challenging stage, and of course the wind
Especially
bucks
with
up.
this wind. Yeah.
Yeah, we went from a gentle 3-4, airing us out to a nice 12 to 15.
Is that what it is right now?
Yeah, it's gusting from about 8 to 14 right now. So that's a big wind bracket on a little target.
So it's gonna make you cleaning the stage a little bit more difficult than normal.
I have not cleaned a stage yet, but I've only zeroed one.
Okay, that,
So,
Yeah,
I feel like I've had a few people there, but
We'll be rooting for you.
dude, I finished up at 32 yesterday,
Okay.
yeah,
which would normally be a pretty dog shit score.
that normally
Then it did the scoring, and I was like, ooh, top guy's only at 84.
yes.
Like and there's a massive gap in the first three. Like it dropped into the 40s rapidly.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to.
Yeah.
But I just want
Would
to
you
say I'm going
that's
to
pretty
outshoot Mike
usual
Friesen.
for the PRS, you get a couple of people that are massively ahead of everybody else.
Not generally. We normally see the top 10 fairly close to each other, a few point spreads or time tiebreakers.
Okay.
But like 15 and 20 point spreads are not super normal. Occasionally.
A couple of people are spent.
Honestly, dude, I'm looking at Chase Beckley's score. The kid's 14 years old and he's absolutely destroying the field against guys like Vibert, right? So
Yeah.
it is interesting to look how he's doing it. And you look at his he's got his barrels 2 inches longer. It's just a little closer to the target. It's phenomenal to watch a young shooter like that come up this fast. But man, when you take guys like Vibert and he's riding a struggle bus. Like his score is not fantastic. His hit percentages are low. It's a very challenging match.
Are we looking at we looked at the ROs. Back to the,
Oh, I actually have to pretend to shoot.
well, have
right.
you-
I could probably skip this stage and get the same score.
Thank you very much.
maybe we'll check in with them later. We'll see how it goes. And
Yeah.
we'll see how they shoot, whether they want to come back.
Exactly.
While they're getting their stage brief done, I'm going to leave you for a moment. There. Camera back. For some reason, I keep losing. It's like, we'll get it.
Your camera
One,
directed
two,
here.
three.
Should be cool.
Now,
Good to
good
go.
one. Lighter to give us some fucking hope there. Hey, could have hit him later to give us some hope now. Still vibrating. Target one, one round.
Here.
Target two,
Better.
one round. We're gonna call target one the big target.
Apologies for the
Target one,
the
one
noise
round. Target
we
two,
have
one round. Move
our
position two.
win.
Target one, round. Target two,
getting more
one round.
of a
Three, target one.
west
Then you're gonna
southwest
go back
wind.
here. One,
There's a predominant
target two,
shooting towards
one
the
round.
west.
target one.
Sorry, west. Northwest. My apologies.
Direct one round.
Directions
One.
times.
One round. 12 round. Yeah. Target two.
Just run
target
through
one.
the page brief right now.
So it's far to near, then near to far.
Thank you, sponsors. We just talked to Shane and Kerry Mansour.
High score that I see
Precision
is
rifles.
5.
Firing precision rifles around in Duke, Alberta. You can find them at EMPrifles.com,
Yeah, so
I
that's
do
just
believe.
what's our order? I don't know. Right, but Who shot last?
So I'll also be
That's
interesting to see
I would have been last.
how our shooters are going to adapt to
That's what I
that
was
rubber
thinking.
down on
Brand,
the wheel barrel. You have to kind of just do the knee around it. Seeing some rear tripod,
I'll
one
shoot 8.
pump
Weston, I'll
so far. I think we'll probably see that similar
show me if a tripod makes
combination.
sense. Yeah, I will definitely show you that.
The guy in the background
Giving
is
you guys
louder than
1
I.
minute after you shoot to
I
find
feel like
brass.
the shape.
After that, get out of here. Get out of here. I want brass guys
That
here
was that
full
very
time. Yeah, that's
give me an indication.
Did they run out of props? They probably found it in the barrel where that freight is coming.
Mics here, so it is.
That's why they call it.
So, yeah, it looks like we have our shooter cam back. Same. Do we have our power on? I mean, I can get closer.
We should probably let everybody know. Everybody, just so you
And
all
that
know,
might
this
end
stage
up
is being
being
live.
the thing unless I adjust on
If you
the
guys after you shoot, if you want to come
controller
to an interview with us,
thing
just come on over.
itself.
We've got an extra mic for anybody who's allowed to want to chat.
Okay, I will just have to stay closer to the face hole, known as the mouth.
I told you, there's a monthly subscription price.
We're down on OnlyFans, so
Also, another thing today is there was coffee provided by Bolt Action Coffee served up today under the Apex tent. You can find them at boltactioncoffee.com. Definitely some fine coffee. I'm definitely feeling good because I am caffeinated. So, that, you know, get going after 3 days of doing this. So. All right. Our camera is back. Yeah, I kind of traded mics in order to try. Jens gave me some feedback.
what was the feedback here? Does the shooter cam have a mic? It's not on. Oh, you know what? The target cam has a mic and it's on, and you might be picking wind up from that.
Yeah, and yeah, feedback from that. That should help reduce things.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, little technical difficulties.
That's okay. We're full of technical difficulties.
Yep.
Anyway, we're missing our shooter here. I know he's made one impact. I don't know how many shots he's fired. And I don't know what he's shooting at either. I see him dialing.
I think he's probably he's going to be on his 4th shot here.
Okay. So that should have been at the 489 target then. Unfortunately, no connection.
He's going to scoot that tripod rear there. It's definitely going to be tricky. Looks like he kind of dropped that leg a little bit.
You wanted his tripod a little taller, hey?
Yep. Yeah, a little bit of manipulation.
Going to get himself on target. This should be at the 602 again.
Yep.
Unfortunately, no connection. He's dialing down to the 489. Unfortunately, no connection there either.
Yeah, and also we have had our wind die down a little bit here, actually.
Yeah.
You can hear the tarp rustling less.
Still kind of gusty, but definitely not as high sustained for sure.
Yeah.
RO calling to get somebody on brass. Getting that nice and cleaned up.
And our wind is back.
And Jens is saying that our audio is much better. Apologize for that, guys. I thought that we had muted our target camera. Unfortunately, it looks like as though we didn't, and that's why you guys were getting all that wind in the background, and probably some of the echo, I suppose.
Also, just noted the last shooter used a rather heavy bag on that wheelbarrow rung. And
you think that was a benefit or a detriment?
I think that actually might have been a little bit of a detriment because basically if you mass is good in a way that it takes it's like Newton's first law or something like that. An
Okay.
object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion
Yeah, yeah.
tends to stay in motion.
Yeah, yeah.
Or something along those regards of what I didn't pay attention to in school.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I can tell you this: our next shooter up is known to the show. This is Rob Frericks.
Mm-hmm.
He's inserting his magazine. And he's making sure that his apex rival is dialed appropriately before he gets started. He's shit talking the RO. There's his beeps to get started.
Yep.
So he's going full kneeling position here.
A little bit difficult to see from this angle, but when he got down in that kneeling position, he put quite a bit of wobble into that rung, but he's pretty much stabilized it pretty good now. He's got
Unfortunately, no impact.
He's got a nice wide kneel there, and he's got that left arm nice far forward, holding the barrel down, putting weight down onto the rung. And unfortunately, no connection.
The wind has started gusting again, just as he started.
Yeah. Yep. No, sir.
Unfortunately, no impact again. Dialed down to the 489 target again.
Yes, the ends, that is in fact Rob.
So I guess Jens is watching the video but not listening to the audio, because I do remember saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob is over to the third stage here, or the third position.
Yep.
His bolt is closed. He'll be at the 602 target. Damn, no connection again. He's dialing down to the 489-yard target.
Yeah, again, no feedback downrange for Rob.
Literally shooting in the dark in the broad daylight.
Yep, exactly. And that is time.
Unfortunately, a 0 stage for Rob. He's not going to be happy with that.
Yep. He has unfortunately joined the Donut Club for this stage. Another thing to note is center fire shooters rely on trace, dirt splash behind the target if they miss, or if they hit the target, how the plate swings at the hit. However, today, due to conditions,
none of those things.
pretty much none of those things. Now, you may ask yourself, how do the rimfire guys do it then? Because rimfire does not have the same power to produce trace, nor does it kick up much dirt. And there's not a lot of energy to be putting into the dirt. The thing is, with rimfire, you can actually see your round coming in due to it being subsonic and a good position. So you can actually help spot your misses that way by seeing which way the bullet flies past the target.
So our current shooter is also known to the show. You were listening to her just a couple of minutes ago. This is Carrie Mansour, Team EM Precision. She's dialing her zoom to find her target. Her bolt is closed. That's her shot. Unfortunately, no connection. She's dialed to the next target. Man, a massive gust just as she breaks that shot.
Yep. That is not a good feeling when you're on the line. Definitely a little bit of awkward position.
This wind, sorry, go ahead.
A little bit of an awkward position. Shooter's got to manage that rung.
This wind is a great way to turn money into noise.
That is very much true.
Unfortunately, no connection on that one either.
Nope.
So we'll be back to the 489-yard target.
Elusive.
Yeah, and shit talking us about rimfire again.
As is tradition.
As is tradition. So she's on the third position. This will also be at the 600-yard target. Unfortunately, no connection. At this point, you just got to take your shots, right? You got to do the best you can.
Yeah, exactly. Try to figure out what you're going to adjust. Mostly going to be playing around with wind is definitely the big factor.
She's moving back to position. Oh, the timer goes. She runs out of time. Several zeros, several donuts so far. I think up next is Shane, is it not? Shane Mansour.
Possibly.
We'll let everybody pick their brass first, but
he's definitely getting ready. He's closing up his tripod. He's most likely going to be using it as a rear support.
Looking handsome as hell.
Mm-hmm.
That black camo pants and those sunglasses. Boy.
Yeah. They look like they're straight from the future. But the future is now.
They actually look like they're from the future. They're like if somebody in the 80s was trying to predict what the future was going to look like for sunglasses.
Yes.
He should be riding a hoverboard right now.
Yeah, definitely. Should also have a popped collar, I think, too.
Have a what?
A popped collar.
Oh, Shane, pop your collar. Because you're the fucking man and everyone should know it. You ever watch those videos from the early 2000s? No? The bros from New Jersey? Yeah, my collar's popped because I'm the fucking man and everyone should know it.
That's hot.
I want Shane to pump his collar right now.
He should do that.
I agree. He should 100% do
Yes. It goes well with the sunglasses.
It would, yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Timer has started for Shane. Oh, he's going to be extending his tripod all the way.
Yeah, he's throwing that thing out all the way.
He wants the long throw.
That extra base width of the tripod is going to help him not interfere with the handles of the wheelbarrow.
It looks like he's taking a position a little bit further back than others as well, which drives exactly what you just said.
Able to get more body weight on that tripod, more rifle support on that tripod.
So his bolt is closed. He should be lined up at the 600-yard target. And unfortunately, no impact there. He's going to hold over at the 489. And we have an impact at 489. Good holdover.
Yep. Paying off for him. Again, that time and movements and building, establishing that position on that awkward barricade.
Well, that second shot there, that gave him a couple of seconds for sure.
Yep.
It was a quick follow-up.
Yeah, a little bit of messing around with the front bag here.
But probably worth it to make sure that he's stable. He's having trouble. His front leg of the tripod looks like it's running into the wheelbarrow right now.
Yep.
So the bolt is closed. He should be at the 600-yard target again. Unfortunately, no, a big gust just as he broke that shot again.
Yeah.
Because that hasn't happened today.
A little bit of struggle with that front bag, too. Can't see it from the camera perspective, but it is kind of lopsided.
I thought I heard something there, but no call for an impact. And I don't see anything in the scope. Not that I can see it all that well on our screen, but Boone says we have a golf commentary sound. That's not a compliment. I feel like we should just a bit outside. We need to pick it up a little bit.
See, I don't.
And the time's almost out.
I don't feel like a hockey commentary is appropriate.
It's appropriate for this. Yeah,
we're in an open field. It's grassy. It does feel a little bit more like golf.
So Shane doesn't zero the stage, but unfortunately only 1 point there, I think, on that one. But to be perfectly honest with you, with how challenging this seems to be right now, that ain't half bad.
Yep.
And of course, the wind dies down now that he's on.
Yes.
Because Murphy is a son of a bitch and his law is bullshit. Shane's over there swearing as he puts his rifle down. He seems extremely happy with how the stage went.
Yes. He's currently looking back at us.
Yeah, he can hear us. He's like, fuck you guys.
In approval.
He probably thinks we were shit talking him during the stage now. He's going to have to watch the replay and find out we were very supportive of you, Shane.
Yes. In fact, we were sympathetic to his situation.
Even more than sympathetic. We were empathetic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See, Carrie's got our backs on this. When Shane's going like, fuck those guys with their live stream, Carrie's gonna be like, they were actually saying really nice things about
Yeah.
you. So kind and gentle, and
Yeah.
they were complimenting your sunglasses.
Mhm.
Maybe gave fashion advice. Would love to see the pop.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all that we need next time. We just need the pop collar.
Half of knowing what you're doing is looking like you know what you're doing.
That's right.
And if you look good, even better.
That should be
It's-
on a t-shirt.
It's
Yeah.
like possession is 9/10 of the law. It's the same sort of principle. So
So
our
you can
next
hear
shooter
s-
is up. His bolt is closed. There's the shot. Unfortunately, no connection. He's going to dial to the closer target.
Also took the tripod out tall to kick those legs further apart.
And we have impact on shot number 2.
He's gonna scoot that tripod out of the way, and he's gonna
He's going to
Just
try to
use that
lean over
rung.
the rung. Yeah.
Yep.
Can't see. It doesn't look like he's trying to support his elbow on the opposite rung, which not a big surprise.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, no connection at the 600 yard. We were so supportive of you while you were shooting. You should watch this again.
I didn't zero it.
Yeah.
It was the jankiest prop in Canadian history.
That is literally. Well, we didn't say anything about the janky prop because we didn't see it.
They
But
must have run out of fucking shit. No way that this should ever be on a radio.
what's the name? What's the name of this stage, Shane?
Over the barrel, because that's how you get fucked.
Hang on a second. I think we need a microphone. Here. What's the name of this stage, Shane?
Over the barrel, because you get fucked.
It's actually not over the barrel. It's over a barrow.
Yes, because it's a wheelbarrow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But
Or,
you're still
or it
getting.
used to be 40 years ago.
You got the getting fucked part right.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
Like, there's no way. Like, this is one where you would borderline saying it's an unsafe prop because the bags are rolling off the sides, the legs are moving 4 or 5 inches horizontally.
Are the legs
tire-
moving?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Mhm.
dude, you like with your pinky and they're fucking wobbling back and forth. It's garbage.
So we know you got what, 4 shots or 5 shots off?
I got 5 off, 1
5
impact.
off, 1
Mhm.
impact.
Yeah.
We saw at least one of your shots. There was a big gust right before you broke your shot.
That's what Jordan said. Yeah. So I got my hit at a 1/2 mil and I had to go up to 1 mil
Okay.
and I still wasn't getting it. But it's wobbly. Like, you're more concerned with keeping your rifle on the prop than you are actually shooting anything.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I
So,
mean, you look
so the
down
wind
range.
is no factor, is what you're saying.
Wind target was not a problem.
Yeah.
It was the barrow.
You'd be hitting all day if not for that stupid barrow.
You know, one thing I'll say is the target's all labeled really well. They're all really appropriately sized.
Yeah.
But fuck, this has been some of the hardest props I've ever seen on any.
Well, you
match.
realize that prop was it was just lying in the field.
It was an
Like, this looks
afterthought.
good.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a fuck. We need 18 stages.
This is how you set up stages in Alberta. You just look in the field for what's there.
Oh, 100%. And you know, to be fair, like with field matches, it's always harder to have really stable and good props and positions. But there's been a lot of complaints about Canadian matches and some of the janky props, so we're all just getting used to shooting them.
Yeah.
So coming to a big title match, I expect the shit cemented into the farmer's field.
Mhm.
Like, where's the piling machine? Where are the telephone poles driven in for me? Like,
Well, then when you finally do shoot a stage like that, it'll be fantastic. Well, we just had an impact there, first shot, I think.
Mhm. Yep.
Jordan got his first one, and not after.
And then after, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
the shit from there.
But
It
the
seems
wind
like,
is
like
really.
scoring a 1 or a 2 on this stage is a win today.
It is. Like, one of the guys had high score in the last squad was only a 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he only got 6 shots off, used a rear tripod, managed to get 4.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our thought process, was make the first ones count, get as stable as you can, but you're trying to hold a 1/2 mil wind, but that pole's moving about 2.5
There's another
mils.
impact there.
Yep.
So it's this one's tough.
Hard to get your windage when your rifle is tilting left to right.
Buddy. Mine fell off the tire.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying not to ND.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that's a good
honestly
point.
not NDing was the priority of this stage.
So that on that front tire position in the rear tripod, that was a little bit tricky getting that tripod rear support in there.
Yes.
As I
Well,
can
and,
tell.
and then with the arms in the way, your
Mhm.
legs not in the right spot.
Yeah, it looked like the front peg of your tripod was running into the body of the wheelbarrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On the tire position, I had
Yeah.
to come all the way back
Mhm.
on my extended arca. Like, I shoot in McMillan, so it's a lot shorter than these guys'
It
chassis.
almost looked like your bag was on your barrel.
Well, I'm extended out about 4 inches.
Oh yeah,
And
okay.
sometimes 4 inches is all you need.
You almost need like a tactical
Yeah.
2x4 to like bridge like the legs of the wheelbarrow to like rest your rifle on there.
Yeah, that's a good
That's not a
point.
bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't make fun of me for any of my sound quality on this microphone because I listen to your podcasts. I've replaced the truck radio.
I literally have nothing to say about your sound audio.
It's rare that you're the quiet one. You're typically the benchmark to clear it out. And then you hear Kurt, who's got all the valuable stuff to say, and you can't hear him at all.
And that's the way we planned it.
Yeah.
This is me being supportive.
No, we wanted it so that like you can't hear Kurt at all, and then every once in a while there will just be some silence,
Yeah.
and then everybody appears really close to their
It
speakers.
turns up the radio. Yeah.
And Kurt's like, I agree.
Although I'm looking forward to the next one. Fucking it'll all be Trump assassination politics.
Can you guys believe that somebody took a shot at that fucking guy?
I already saw a meme come out saying this is what happens when you hire an NRL hunter instead of a PRS shooter.
Ooh.
Too soon.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think the NRL guys would have gotten it.
Yeah. my predictions is a while back there was the Dickens drill that was popular for pistol shooters to recreate.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
in Mr. Dickens, who eliminated a
I already saw
rather bad guy.
Yeah.
I can already see rooftops with a certain designated tripod position, target distance.
Well, actually,
Being
it did
established.
look like there was incoming fire on one of the snipers on the roofs. They had a tripod set up, and
I don't think
Who was
there
it?
was
Kaysen?
incoming fire on him. I
Kaysen
think
posted it up.
It kind of looks like he flinched, if I'm being honest.
He stepped back a lot. That's
I
not a
was
recoil
watching
flinch. That tripod
CBS.
came off the ground and moved backwards.
I was watching CBS replay the
Yeah.
video of that over and over and over
It looked
again.
like he jumped and pulled away.
He did jump and pull away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
CBS was talking about it like that's the snipers firing back. I'm like, that's no shot. Like
Mhm.
barrels don't move.
You've been watching
downward with
tripods all
recoil.
day. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Well,
that
if it's a PRS guy, like it just would have been shooting it off some janky fucking prop, like or an NRL guy would have just used.
He
like,
would have had a
a
wheelbarrow
triple
up
like
on
a
that
tripod
roof.
for your supporter.
Yeah.
It's a tripod, right?
Yeah.
I've already seen suggestions on social media as I have no commentary on how tasteful this is, but I've seen suggestions on social media that the Dickens drill version of this
Mhm.
will be like the ear drill, and at 150 meters you'll be shooting an ear of corn.
there you go. Yeah. Same color.
Again, no commentary on the tastefulness of this.
Mhm.
You know, there were 3 people.
All
that
training
got
is good
shot
training.
in addition to Trump, but
Yeah. No, I'm a little blown away. It hasn't happened before.
yeah.
Well, there's a lot
but
of hate rhetoric
I think
about
there's
him.
a real reason why, and this dipshit, this Crooks, whatever, what an appropriate name, because he just robbed the left of any standing that they
Oh,
had.
that's what we said. Our group chat, like the team chat, that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the president now.
Like Antifa
Yeah.
should have just gotten around in a circle and took turns shooting each other in the foot.
Well, between the bullshit trial that I think most people can see through,
Mhm.
trying to take a candidate out instead of having a fair democratic process, whether you like him or not, I don't really care.
Well, I mean, Hillary
But then
didn't
all
go
of a
through the
sudden,
same
like
process,
within
and that's
weeks
the
of that,
reality.
somebody tries to take a shot at him. It's
Yeah.
going to unify the right. A lot of the guys who weren't sure are going to jump over.
I think it already has.
And nobody will attack Biden. Like, fuck, he could die any night now.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. You just gotta wait.
Although
That's it.
Polyev had a public statement out before the president of the United States did.
Mhm.
Did it- well, yeah, but it took that long for them to wake Biden up.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
His day-
exactly.
his workday
Pump him
doesn't
full
start.
of caffeine so he could do his
Yeah.
speech.
Unreal. I
I mean,
haven't
he's
seen
got
the
to have
Biden
his
response
morning
yet.
nap, his afternoon nap. So like, he's got a busy schedule.
So we've got a comment here from Twisted Rooster. I don't know who that is, but the comment says, "Twisted Rooster, get a close up of Shane's sad face."
Oh, there's no sad face anymore, Kurt. It's been a shitty fucking weekend. I'm just getting immune to it now.
Yeah.
It's been a great weekend.
I'll be
You
honest,
had
I'm
fun.
shooting better than I typically do.
Oh yeah, I know. No
Yeah.
commentary on how you're shooting, but you had a good time. Don't pretend you didn't. Have
You know
fun.
what? Coming out with the guys, the people you shoot with, hanging out, the drinks afterwards.
See,
at
there
camp.
it is.
It's an event. It's a
Yeah.
good thing to come out to.
Yeah.
So regardless, I mean, obviously you pay a match fee and you pay for your ammo. It sure sucks at 30 or 40% hit rates. Like ammo's getting expensive. But
Kurt's comment here is, "Don't suck next time."
who's that, Kurt?
No, he says that.
I actually
tell-
just totally made that up.
I heard
He
Kurt
does say,
had to
"Tell
blow a
him he
truck
needs
driver
to
last night.
work on his mounting technique." I'm sure Carrie will agree.
You can
I
ask her.
believe that's what you call a double entendre.
Double entendre.
Mm.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, where is Kurt?
He's out on site. Otherwise, he would have been here.
Peasant.
He had to go to work. He had to make a living.
Peasants.
I would have actually liked to see him shoot a match.
Yeah, he's got a lot of talk for a guy who's only ever shot one match.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I know he's got guns. I know he's got ammo.
I like how Shane's pretending that Kurt's only ever shot one competition ever because he's only done one PRS match.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you know what, man? Like, honestly, the old tactical matches we used to shoot, I did find them way more satisfying, way funner. Like, PRS came up, like 8-9 years ago, maybe 10.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, it kind of became the format that everybody started running their matches after. So whether you're a sanctioned PRS match or not, they're all fucking PRS matches.
Yeah.
Sure.
But we used to have some really cool, like up by Drayton Valley, there was these guys. It was the Landy Memorial Shoot. A buddy of theirs had passed the cancer, and they started having this shoot every year. And they did it for 7 or 8 years. And it was an invite only. And I finally got invited. I was new to the community at the time. I got invited in the last 3 years. Oh, it was awesome. You had to shoot with a partner. It was short range. It was only 400, but everything was hard. Like a Texas Star that you had to shoot moving.
Oh, the center fire rifle.
At center fire at
That is
400 with a confirmation that was 150 closer to you.
Yeah.
We had to shoot aspirins. At 100 meters, you had to shoot an aspirin. It was an elimination challenge.
An actual aspirin.
An actual aspirin.
That'll be good for the gophers in the field afterwards.
Oh, it was right at a range, the Drayton Valley range. Yeah. It was an awesome shoot. Like, we had to shoot off of a floating platform with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And watching some of the guys whose communication was really good. They cycle bolts at the same time. They'd reload at the same time.
Yeah.
But once one guy's going, the other guy's fucking around. My partner, Billy Bell, goof. He fucking cycling his bolt while I'm trying to make a shot, and I'm waiting for him. And then he opens the bolt. He's like, "Oh, is it ready yet?" We're yelling at each other, and we watch two of the TAC team guys, and they're like whispering commands at each other, and they're in like perfect sync. They're shooting 308. The platform's not even moving.
And you guys are like punching each other.
We're shooting little sixes, and we're like on the high seas. It was fucking crazy. Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun, and I kind of miss that type of stuff, and that's why I'm loving NRL. Is Mike and I get to shoot it as a team, and there's something to be said for finding somebody that you really enjoy shooting with, and you can yell at and still not hate each other afterwards.
So obviously, all this stuff, like there's a constant evolution to this sort of stuff. So where do you think it'll go in the next 5 years?
Honestly, I think Jordan and I both think that NRL is the wave of the future.
You think so?
I think PRS may be going a little bit ipsicky, where it's become an equipment race. It's a little less forgiving to get into, and it's really starting to cater to the very top end shooters, whereas NRL is much more set up for your fundamentals. Like, you're chasing a lot of the rifleman's fundamentals. You might have a terrain challenge, but it's up to you to build your position. You're never told, here's this terrible wheelbarrow with wobbly legs that you have to shoot off of.
Yeah.
It's like, well, are you comfortable shooting standing off of a tripod, kneeling, sitting? Are you comfortable with a high prone?
Yeah.
Like, you get to pick how you're going to engage the target, and everything has a follow-up. So here there's been a lot of one round, and you got 8 to 12 miles an hour wind changes, and you're changing position, and you're only getting one round. It's hard to get a correction. And I think that does really separate the elite shooters from the mediocre ones.
Yeah.
But NRL seems like the mediocre guys can do a lot better. And I'm not saying it's easier, because it's just different fundamentals.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I enjoyed it a lot more. And me and Mike can bark at each other and not be mad at dinner time.
Yeah. It's also a great shared experience with your shooting partner.
Yeah.
Because, like, you were there at the exact same time, experiencing the exact same thing.
In West Canada here, we have such a hunting culture that you're getting a lot of guys out, and you're not truly being held back. You show up with your Tika 300 Win Mag. You're going to be able to compete, because it's coming down primarily to your spotting and ranging fundamentals. And shooting is kind of the easier part. The targets are not overly gargantuous, but they have typically some wind allowance on them.
Right.
I just found it very satisfying. Like, whereas I shoot in the 30 or 40 percentile this year in PRS, I shot up in the 85, 90 percentile in the two NRL.
That's why he likes it more.
Well, I will say also from
no, but I can totally understand that, though. I mean, in terms of your own satisfaction, like a very challenging shoot, everybody's shooting, getting low percentage hits. So it's still maybe fair, but there is that satisfaction component to how often you're shooting versus how often.
And honestly, it's something to do with like cost. Like, you show up, you load 180 rounds for a PRS match, you hit it like 30%. It means you're really dumping a lot of ammo. Whereas the NRL is a lower, it's what, 80, 90 rounds for the entire 2 days. But I legitimately
eight
hit
rounds
over
per
85%.
Is the set amount.
If you're
depending on how many
about
stages.
price.
So and also it is, I would say, from a newer shooter perspective, it's more rewarding financially. If you do good, you actually shoot less.
Yes.
Here in a PRS match, do really good, you're spending more money because you're getting all your rounds off.
Yeah.
NRL Hunter, if you should shoot good, a clean stage is 4 shots.
You know, if you're really concerned about cost, you should just get into rimfire.
I can't even reply to you.
That's
Jens, fucking
Jens is
deal with
angry
this.
right now too.
Yeah, it's like, Jens, fucking sort this out.
Whether he's still watching or not, I'm not too sure. He hasn't commented. In
You
the
said
last
rimfire, and he
5
turned the
minutes,
podcast off.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm looking at the screen, just waiting for it to pop up because I know.
Are you scared of that Creedmoor? Is that what the problem is? A little too much recoil
honestly,
for you?
I don't like it.
I know all you do is cuddle on the ground.
I don't even shoot rimfire anymore.
Mm.
Can I be perfectly? We're talking about Kenny, the rifle that we've.
Kenny.
Yeah.
I didn't know it got
Oh, you
named.
didn't, it got named. Yeah.
Nice.
So there's a rifle that was not given to me. It was given to somebody else under spurious circumstances, let's say, and never used. So then it made its way over to
You got grandfathered it.
I didn't even get grandfathered it. The show got grandfathered it.
Yeah.
But I didn't
technically
have
is the
anything
show's.
even closely resembling a PRS rifle. So Kurt has several. So
Yeah.
By default, it's kind of like if someone's going to use it, it'll fall to me.
Yeah.
It's
It's a nice rifle, but it's a nicer scope.
It's a much nicer scope.
Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
got
got
a
a March High Master on it.
Tier 1 March on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I still can't hit anything on it.
You know what? I got March. I got Loophole. I got USO.
I
still
do know
miss
what you
shit.
mean about janky props though, because I shot Sapro with it 2 years ago.
Well, and
There were
honestly,
definitely some janky props there.
sometimes there's challenges, and sometimes we complain a little bit at some of the matches. Like some of them seem a little goofy, but unless they're like way out,
Yeah.
Or like really, really unstable to where you're having safety concerns, it's just something that we've gotten used to, right? I think you get stacked with a combination.
Wouldn't
of
that be a
challenges.
benefit though? Not necessarily at matches that have the challenging props, but
Well,
at matches that don't have challenging props.
well, potentially, but then you got to go to the States.
What's wrong with going to the States?
Oh, just the money, the expense, right?
Yeah,
As a
expense,
mid-pack
money,
shooter, I have
time.
to justify why I would travel.
Yep.
To finish up mid or bottom, right? So next
Rooster
year, I'm aiming
says-
to shoot at least one US PRS match and one NRL US match.
Yeah, okay. So Rooster says Kenny needs to come live with him. I don't disagree with that.
It sounded
I've
gay, but
never
yes,
had
it does.
any intention to really make use of
Yeah.
that rifle.
No.
Also, a good point is I could have made use of Kenny here as well.
Well, maybe
Yeah, your podcast, you could
Kenny
run it.
should go live with you.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't.
Jens did say that he's with you on this, and that doesn't happen often.
Nope.
On the rimfire thing,
No.
he's
Yeah,
on your side.
We don't agree a pile,
But you agree on rimfire,
and we're
Yes.
right.
and we're right. Well, it looks like your stage has moved on, my friend.
Yeah, it's not a long walk.
Mhm.
And I think I shoot near the end.
Okay. Well, you can stay with us then.
You know, I don't need the extra time to get prepared. It doesn't matter how much preparation I do when the janky
Oh,
prop
you're
is
just
fucking moving
shit-talking
200
now.
yards.
What is, the next? That looks like a pretty solid one over
You,
there.
you know what? I was actually surprised. I don't know what the positions are, but I'm
That's the
surprised people
sawhorse,
weren't
right?
using a rear tripod on this horse.
Yeah.
That actually looks perfect. Just standing, 3 points of contact, get her in.
Yeah.
It is the just as the sawhorse flattens out behind the neck
It's
on
nice.
top
though.
of the saddle and above the tail,
How many?
also known as the ass.
Oh, because like our wind right now is nice because it's coming from a steady position.
Mm.
But man, it's got a 50% up and down right now.
I would like to cover that one because I think that's an interesting looking prop.
Yeah.
But we only have one downrange target, and there's 3 targets, or one downrange scope, sorry, and there's 3
Oh.
targets on that one. But,
You should ask one of your sponsors. Some of us have a bunch of cameras.
web-enabled cameras?
They're the Tacticams.
Oh, that's not going to help us.
Well, I don't know how you
Stream
set up your
off
shit.
a Tacticam.
Dude, I only know how to steal music and search porn, and I don't have to steal music anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm not computer tech savvy, buddy.
Yes.
Let's have the porn guy providing cameras for us. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's
High
Maybe
resolution.
we should be
A little
on
bit of spotting
OnlyFans.
on the lens.
That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
From the guy who rolls around with sweaty men all day.
Also true, and it's still one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
Like, I'm totally convinced that if we got in a fight, you would lay on your back and wait for me to jump on top
I'd
of
be
you.
like, "Come at me, bro."
Get down here.
I'd be like butt scooting towards you.
100%.
Except that I did stand up exclusively for like 25 years before.
And
I
you've got
ever-
2 feet of reach on me.
well, 1.5 feet.
Mm. Just a minor advantage.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
You can't generate the energy swinging up a foot.
Not anymore. I'm getting old, Shane.
You are. How old are you?
44 now.
Fuck, you're older than me.
It's my Magnum year.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's mine next year.
44 meg.
You're 43.
Yeah.
You fucking millennial.
Yeah. And look at this
1
white
year
beard.
between us is the difference between Gen X and millennial.
You know what? I don't identify as a millennial.
Well,
We're that borderline last year where you still got some people who knew how to fucking put in a day's work.
some people.
Yeah.
But
I'm as crotchety and miserable as Kurt is.
I
Are
know
you
a lot
Millenn
of
X?
a Millennials. I know a lot of people born in 81 who are definitely millennials.
Yeah.
I think it just
like-
depends on how
Like
you
the
grew
one
up.
we gave that rifle to.
Was he born in 81?
No, I think a couple years younger.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he was.
But he was most definitely
And then there's guys who were born in the 70s like Kurt who are
70s.
definitely millennials.
You better math that again. Kurt's a 67 baby.
He wasn't 67.
Fucking Kurt just turned 60, dude.
No, he didn't.
Is he flipping out yet?
Let's see.
He will.
He
There's
might be
delay
taking
in
a
the
nap
chat.
right now if he's that age. So
He's sleeping.
Yeah.
He's
like
took an
Fire.
applesauce and went to bed.
He
yeah,
is,
he and Joe Biden.
he
yeah.
is talking some shit here. So
Yeah.
that's the kindest PFO I've ever heard. I'm not sure what that meant. I don't know when he commented that, but
What is a PFO?
please fuck off.
Oh,
Now there we go. He says, "Beat it, loser,"
We have good feedback there
and
now.
then he
yeah.
says, "Your team is moving on."
my team moved on.
Mhm.
And then Jens says, "81 is millennial." Period.
Oh yeah, Jens is an old fuck too.
So like you said, you guys don't agree on much.
I know. There's always got to be okay. I gotta go.
For that one glorious
Yeah.
moment, though, that you had the rimfire thing in common.
Ugh.
Ugh.
All right,
All
I
right,
gotta go.
enjoy the rest of
There's a
your
new
shit,
squad
Shane.
here.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much,
joining.
Shane. Enjoy your commentation. I'm just gonna check on the target camera here. Just make
Shane
sure
is
that's
the
still doing
funnest
good.
crotchety man that I've ever seen. Did our target cam move?
I'm just gonna check on it
Okay.
battery wise.
Oh, battery wise, I got you. Okay, so we'll have a little bit of a lull here, guys. We tried to fill the air while we were waiting for our third squad to come in by talking with Shane here, but Kurt's still talking shit to Shane, and he left a couple minutes ago. Yeah, okay. So I'll try to fill a little bit of air with you guys while we wait for this stage. They're arriving here. They're just setting up. Please, yeah. So this squad is just showing up. We're going to move the cameras a little bit so you guys can see maybe a little bit better the rifle positioning, whereas being a little bit behind. Baba Booey. I'm not sure what the fuck that was about. But so you guys can see where the rifle position is a little bit better rather than just the shooter's hindquarters. And we will get started with the next stage. I'm getting refreshments from Carly. Thank you, Carly. And then we'll get started. Maybe what we'll do, guys, is go have a piss, get a drink. And these guys look like they're probably about 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes from getting started. And then we'll come back and carry on with you guys. So commercial start now. Okay, guys, we're going through the staging, or the stage briefing. Sorry, this squad is going through the stage briefing. We've temporarily lost our downrange camera. We'll get it back as soon as they get started here. We were just listening to the RO tell the squad that they have 1 minute to pick up their brass after they're done their shoot. And if you lose your brass, he does not care. Big glare on the target camera. Yeah, and see, I unfortunately there's not a whole lot that we can do about that, just because of the position that we're in today with that camera. But as you can hear above me, the wind is still doing its thing. It's doing its best to play havoc with everybody. Boone, thanks you. I'm glad you like our commercials, even though they're just dead air. So it looks like RO is getting ready to call up the first shooter. Just as we're just a couple of seconds away from getting that target camera back up for you guys. So it looks like our shooter's just confirming the course of fire with the RO. Getting the dial in for that 600-yard target. Once again, if you haven't weren't joining us before and you're just joining us now, this stage we are shooting at two different targets. One is at 602 yards. That'll be the first target that our shooter's going for right away, and the second target is at 489 yards. And they'll be, for the first three positions, they'll be going the 600-yard target to the 400-yard target. After that, they'll be going from the 489-yard target to the 602-yard target. The time has started for this shooter. Looks like she's just going to use a rear bag. Well, there's exactly what Shane was talking about. Shane's a crotchety old bastard, but he's sometimes right. That rifle falling off of that first shooting position, you can actually see she's struggling quite a bit with the wobble on that. So I mean that's definitely a wobbly shooting position. There's no question about that. But it looks like she's acquiring target. First shot is broke. Unfortunately, no impact there. Apologies, guys. We are still trying to get that target cam back up for you. We should have it momentarily again. No impact on the second shot either, unfortunately. This is an interesting take. She's going to go beside the rung. She's going to lean over it and use that, I suppose, for her stability. She'll be going at the 600-yard target again. Target camera coming back online. Unfortunately, no impact there. And no impact at the 489 target either. Moving over to the third position. Now, our target camera, again, just for you guys, we only have the one target camera today, and it is looking at your 489-yard target. Right now, the shooter's lining up for the 600-yard target. Here's our impact at 600, now to the 489. Impact there as well. Now, probably worth noting, those last two shots for our shooter, probably not much of a coincidence that the wind really came down there right at the end for her last couple of shots. And that's probably what made all the difference, if I had to guess. We've got a squad in there picking up the brass because they only have 60 seconds. I'm sure we'll move on to the next shooter momentarily.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah.
Ricochet back joining me.
BPSN 8, the Ocho. Your shooting sports news coverage. Live from the Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge near Calgary, Alberta.
Jordan's white.
Stay tuned.
That was such a exciting lead in to absolutely nothing, because the 60-second rule for brass apparently is not being enforced.
Yes.
Whatever.
Away she goes.
Yeah. Our spotting camera's having trouble. Hey, like it's in and out of focus. So again, for everybody joining us, this is our first time trying to live stream an event like this. We're using the equipment that we've got, and a little bit of a proof of concept to see if there's something like this can even be done. And if you would like to give us feedback on it, if you're giving us a watch, maybe even if you're watching the pre-record, shoot us an email at info@bspodcast.ca. Let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. If you didn't like the commentators, meaning me and Rick / Derek, I mean, go tell someone to give. But if you have some suggestions, comments, whatever, technically on how it's set up or where our vantage points are, we would always like to hear that feedback. Forgot to flip up the
scope cap,
lens caps, and that's okay. It looks like he's on now. And it looks like that's a miss for the 600, going for the 489.
They're left-handed. Well, actually, kind of quasi.
That's a left-handed shooter with a right-handed rifle.
Yes, I was about to say things look a little different.
Goofy-footed shooter with an orthodox rifle.
Yes. So in this case, the shooter will actually be using the left rung on that tire to support their torso instead of the right, as to most of our right-handed shooters.
There we go.
Right.
There we
Impact
go.
at the 489.
Make that target move.
And again, coincidentally, the wind has died completely down, and we see an impact.
Yeah, no, this is actually quite strange how this wind has just essentially dropped off.
Unfortunately, no connection there to 600.
Can the shooter adapt on the wind call in time?
Another impact at the 489. No dialing here. He's choosing to hold over everything.
Mm-hmm. However, unfortunately, you can't see it in the spotting scope right now, but there is about a row of trees about 300 meters to the south. And if shooters are wise, they can have a look at the foliage there to kind of get an idea of movement of what's actually going on downrange.
So we're on the second go through of the position. So he'll be starting at the close target, the 489. Unfortunately, no connection there. Now he's going to go over to the 600. An impact at the 600. What a coincidence. The last two shooters in a row have made multiple connections, and the wind has died down.
Yes.
I'll bet you that's got to chap Shane's ass, huh?
Yeah, I think there'll be a chapstick suppository in his near future.
Yeah, so Jens is asking what's going on with the target cam. Blurry good. So just so you guys know what our equipment
I'll
is
maybe
like.
adapt here.
Well, there's not much you can do about that. That's the
White
camera.
John.
Focus on the camera. Okay, he's going to try to do something with that. But I mean, just so you guys know, technically the way that this has to work, we actually have a cell phone attached to the spotter camera. Because we have to be able to, not only have a camera, a spotter scope, but that camera has to be able to connect to the live stream. So we're using cell phones for that. That's the most technological way to do it. We're not by any means. If you'd like to have better equipment, hey, why don't you make a big donation to the show? With it. So I think what's happening is, with everything that's going on with the lighting, and probably moving the grass, that some of the kind of seeing between the attachment to the scope downrange, it seems to be having some difficulty focusing. So we're going to just playing around with it just to see if it can decide where it was, its focal point.
Yeah.
Focus. As we're doing this, our next shooter is up. He's looking for the 600-yard target right now. No connection. It looks like he's going to dial down the 489. A little slow on the dial. It looks like he's looking back and forth at his dope card on his left forearm. Unfortunately, no connection on his second shot. Dialing back up to the 602. Unfortunately, no connection there. Dialing down. His bolt is closed. And unfortunately, no connection there either. Rifle falls off his tripod. It's funny, that didn't happen until Shane came over with a microphone and told everybody that the rifles are falling off. And then all of a sudden, rifles are falling off. Didn't happen before that for 2 squads previous. No connection at the 600 again. Dialing back down to the 489. Unfortunately, no connection there either. This has been a rough stage. He hasn't been able to make a connection with any of his targets yet. Now, he ran out of time. That was interesting there. So he had fired at the 489, moved positions, was going to be at the 489, but I saw him make a dial in his turret. Makes me wonder if he was questioning his dope.
Possibly.
So one of our spotters, one of the fellow shooters, telling him that he was left or right by 0.1 mil on pretty much every one of his shots.
It's unfortunately dancing around the target.
Yeah, doing a jig.
The spotter is positioned directly behind the shooter in line with the targets. That is the optimal place for spotting. He may have been able to pick up a little bit of trace or a little poof here and there.
That's a big ass bag.
Yeah, that actually is probably going to be an ideal support if he can utilize it properly.
I could have a nap on that.
Yeah, definitely could. I'm not sure how firm that bag is, but it's definitely large.
Doesn't seem to be compressing too much under his elbow there.
I don't know how much he's got weight he's got loaded on there.
Well, you'd hope that he has weight loaded on it. Otherwise, what the hell's the point in using it?
Yes, yeah. Unfortunately, that is the thing. It can be a little bit difficult to gauge that.
Unfortunately, no impact on either target for his first 2 shots. So he's moving up. Yeah, he's leaning on that pretty good. He must have a pretty firm fill on that in that bag.
Yeah, I think that bag's pretty firm. He's got that right elbow dropped into it. That'll help really support the rear of the rifle.
Unfortunately, still no connection though. Makes me wonder if everybody's gotten so used to holding for wind so far, and now that the wind is dying down, it's messing everybody up a little bit.
The tire is definitely the most stable position on this wheelbarrow. However, a little bit challenging on the body wise. So I think if you're not going to get it on the tire, chance of you getting on the rungs is generally going to be reduced.
No connection there again. He's dialing down for the 489-yard target. And unfortunately, no connection. That's got to be just as frustrating as having massive wind. As all of a sudden, it's just dead.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it runs out of time. Another 0 on that stage. we've been hearing for the last 2 days how challenging the shoot is,
Mm.
and I suppose that could be taken as sour grapes, whining, complaining, whatever. And you hear it in every sport. If it's difficult, then it's unfair. But I'm not sure that that's a fair assessment. But there is no question that it looks challenging, even just watching it.
Mm.
Now, did you do the RO shoot on Friday? You did.
So yeah, I RO'd the ROs. I did not participate in the RO shoot.
Okay, I got
However,
you.
being with the great group of ROs, seeing what was happening, their feedback, their understanding, and myself, spotting targets, being there live with them, understanding the shoot. Yeah, it definitely is challenging. And I also format it this way as well too. This course of fire set up at a different range, chances are would be a lot easier. That's a lot of people understand is terrain and environmentals is a huge play into how difficult a stage is going to be.
And just having this open field with tall grass is what you mean.
Yeah, eating up bullets. We got no trace due to the air conditions, or very minimal trace due to the air conditions. Wet, solidly rooted ground that's not getting up a lot of dirt. It's not forgiving. Not a whole lot of close foliage to the targets to determine wind conditions downrange. So again, if this match was set up in a different location, we would definitely have different results.
Which is ironic because originally it was planned for a different location.
Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true.
So that shot there, that was at the 600-yard target. Unfortunately, no connection again.
Yep. Going down to target 2.
And no connection again. We must be very golf-like right now.
Definitely feeling that way.
Our voices have calmed down with the wind.
Yes, exactly. I mean, everyone is wearing ear protection due to the fact that there is loud explosions sending small projectiles at very fast speeds in a designated direction. So not a whole lot of need to talk quite like, but it feels kind of almost appropriate to be golf-esque commentating.
There's a little bit of discussion going on about the wind. Yeah, okay. So the consensus here seems to be that she was holding too much wind, which kind of exactly what I was thinking over the last couple of shooters is that, I know as a less experienced shooter,
Mm-hmm.
if I make an impact with big wind and all of a sudden that wind dies down, I don't necessarily have the experience to really understand how much that is going to affect the wind that I was holding when I made that impact. So, and I suppose that's a major component of being an experienced shooter is understanding how much wind will have how much of an impact as it changes, as it picks up, as it dies down. And so I think what we're seeing right now with these misses is we're just having shooters that are probably more on my end of the experience spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
It's messing with their heads.
Yep.
Having to dial wind for the last several hours, massive amounts of wind for the last several hours, and now having to dial very little wind because we just have a very mild breeze now.
Also, the importance of wind bracketing.
Yeah.
So you can have, in your pre-stage preparation, get your wind read off your wind meter or a buddy and direction, and write that down on your dope card for your elevation change. But you have to understand that, okay, maybe I should have a call for a few mile per hours more and a few miles per hour less. So just if on the stage things change, we can adapt and have those numbers in our mind on our dope card.
So our current shooter, first shot, one impact. He's at the 489 target now. We have 2 for 2. Did I miss, or did he skip the tire?
I am also thinking he did skip the tire. I'm fairly certain that these positions are numbered. No comment from the RO.
No impacts called either. Imagine I didn't hear any impacts.
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely going out of sequence.
Yep.
Let's hope this doesn't cost him. I mean, he started it out great with 2 shots, 2 impacts. Which should not count now, right?
It is called an impact. Now, it's an interesting shirt.
But that's not RO calling those impact, though. Those are other shooters calling those impacts.
Yeah, designated spotter shooters.
Now he should be back into the right spot. So, I mean, if he makes these impacts should count, correct?
Yeah, I do see a couple spotters making pointing motions. They maybe indicating the
the RO telling him he shot out of order. So he'll probably score 2 for that. For that stage instead of 4, which is heartbreaking, I'm sure.
Exactly, especially considering that is a really good number of hits for this stage.
Yeah, for the way things have been going today, to score 4 and then to have it reduced to 2, that's
a smack in the face.
Man, that would chap Shane's ass.
Yes, yep. Like I say, chapstick suppository for sure. So that's the thing, is the mental game of understanding your movements is very important. Because again, you can be a good shooter and get those good shots off, but if you do not understand the order or target sequence, it's gonna go away.
And
it's
that
gonna go away like my
satisfaction
ex-girlfriend.
of hearing that satisfaction of hearing that ding when you make your shot, and just to have the RO tell you after the fact that, hey, you know what, you're a good shooter, you're just not good at following instructions.
Yes, exactly. That positive ding is going to be in vain.
I don't know exactly what the discussion is going on right now, but we've got 2 people up on the line. One of them is clearly the shooter.
Yep.
Looking like he's getting some clarifications. The other one just filming?
Most likely, yes.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, and you guys can't see her in the frame, but she is directly in our path, however.
Yeah. Not obscuring the camera for you to see the shooter, however, though.
Now, yesterday I said it must be our American shooter because he had a red, white, and blue rifle, and it was like, no, he's from fucking BC. Now, this guy's got a red, white, and blue rifle, and he also has an American flag on his scope.
Yes.
So I'm just going to go ahead and call it that this is one of our American friends joining us for the match.
Yeah, I've had a number of people travel up for this match. Good to see the community traveling and intermingling in that regard.
There's an impact.
Good impact. Yep. Can he follow up on target 2? Also another left-hander here. He rings number 2. He is proving that this is doable. Noted he does not have any extra support. Not using the rear tripod. Not using a bag.
And did better on the wheel than he seems to be doing on the rungs.
Yeah, those rungs are tricky.
He's 0 for 4 on the rungs, 2 for 2 on the wheel.
Okay, engaging target 2 now.
We have impact there at the close target.
Yeah, that good ring.
And no hit at the 600. Now he's back to the most stable position. He's batting 1,000 off the wheel right now. Let's see if it continues. Unfortunately not. I should have kept my mouth shut. I think I jinxed him.
Mm-hmm. I did see some dirt kick up at the 600, so
And
probably got a little bit of feedback there.
But you know, a score of 3 and this is the thing again. Everybody's talking about, oh, it's so challenging, it's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard. But it is fair. It's hard for everybody. And a score of 3 today, that is not a
also considering 2 shots fired as well too. I don't think we've seen any shooter complete all of the 12 possible shots.
No.
Yeah,
that's correct.
So hit percentage based on shots sent down range versus the stage amount of shots is something to take in perspective as well too.
That's right. I don't think we've seen anybody take more than 2, 4, 6, 8 shots.
Yep.
And most, I think, are taking around
10. Yep.
That 5 to 6 shots range.
Yep.
So we're currently staging our next shooter, just getting some clarification from the RO. And here we go.
Coming back to our mental mapping, the RO asked the shooter, do you understand the course of fire? You'll see a lot of shooters repeat the position sequence, the target sequence to the RO, not to prove to the RO that they understand the course of fire, but as a mental exercise to prove that the shooter themselves understands that course of fire.
Right.
If you can repeat it to somebody else and understand it,
then you understand it.
Chances are you understand what you're going to be doing. That is good mental planning exercise.
I like that Jens is shit talking the Americans in the chat.
Yes.
The difference between yards and meters.
Well, we could, Jens, I think we should co-host a match in which it is mandatory to use meters and Celsius in all calculations, and it'll be strictly enforced.
We did have an impact
and also
there, position 2 at the 600.
Mm-hmm. All chronographs will also have to be set meters per second as well too. We'll call it the metric match. Metric match.
The metric matchup. So that was an impact there at the 489, and now he'll be re-engaging the 489 from a different position.
No dice, unfortunately.
Lightning in a bottle.
Jens agrees with me for the metric match. However, it won't be rimfire, though.
That is the catch. It is rimfire. It's the metric match in rimfire.
Yes. I will caveat that as long as it's European designed calibers.
That was an impact right there, just at the buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the RO is going to give it to him. Yeah, it's just clarifying in the RO saying, yeah, I gave it to you. Don't worry.
We have our MD, Vanya, just appeared in the frame. Check out the wheel barrel. This match has been brought to you by
complaining about it. Vanya, come on over and grab a mic.
Hey guys,
Vanya Catalsa joining us. Apparently, we need him on camera. We didn't care that Shane was on camera. No, we just left him off camera.
Okay,
but you're on camera. How's the match going?
Good. We might have to resume this in 1 minute. I'm just getting a quick call. Okay.
Yeah. No problem.
Busy man.
Oh, the problems with live streaming.
Yes.
Let's move the camera back for a moment.
Let's see Chris's face for a little bit. Yeah.
You just don't want to be on camera.
Hey,
right
I was been on there for like a long time.
I'm
now.
okay being on camera. It's fine.
Yes. Yeah, we got to share the spotlight, my friend.
Yeah.
So
our next shooter is just getting staged. We got Vanya back here. Let's move the camera again.
I'm gonna switch because my left ear is closest to the line.
Oh, I tried that. It didn't seem to make a difference.
No,
It's
okay.
ricocheting off the panel of the truck.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how's it going today?
It's good. Good. Today's going smooth. Yesterday went really smooth. I think we were on schedule with pretty much everything, so it's good.
Yeah, keep that timeline moving is good.
Yeah. Oh.
Have you been hearing from the shooters very much about this wind this morning?
Lots of shooters are commenting on the wind kicking up today. So
Yeah, I can imagine. We've had a couple of comments ourselves.
yes, indeed.
It's been interesting watching it as the wind dies down. Which shooters are able to compensate for that, and which shooters haven't been able to compensate for it.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of the sport, right? It's you know, as a match director, you can only do so much to kind of, you know, study the props as much as you can. I mean, we're in an open field in the middle of a pasture, so we're kind of limited. We're not blessed to have a permanent range at a facility or a piece of land like this, like they do in the States, where they do this year round all the time. So we kind of have to be a little bit inventive with some of the props. We have to make sure the props are as stable and as steady as we can make them. And it is also our first go around, so there's lots of lessons learned there too.
Of course, yeah.
But you know, once you take all those elements out, the rest is really environmental, and then not just wind. There's also altitude at play. There's thermal drift at play. I mean, the hillside that they're shooting into has been, you know, seeing some pretty solid sun for about a week now, and then every day it gets about 4 or 5 hours of sun before the first rounds are downrange. So there's going to be those effects as well, and I think people are really surprised at what the wind is doing, you know, just a few 100 yards downrange, and they're not seeing that crosswind that is necessarily at play. So it's that's a good location. It's challenging. That's the Rocky Mountain Challenge.
That's kind of been the theme for the last 2 days, and what we've been hearing from most of the shooters is that it's challenging.
Yeah,
and depending on who we talk to, that's either like, oh, it's a good challenge, or it's like, oh, it's so challenging, my score is so low. I'm sure you know who.
Yes, I do.
Saying
I have a couple ideas.
You have a couple ideas.
Yeah,
it's okay. We were shit talking Shane while he was.
No.
As stated earlier, I reiterated this point. It's called the Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge, not the Apex Rocky Mountain Easy.
Yeah, and you know, and being a sanctioned rifle series match, you know, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't unhittable.
Yeah.
And there's kind of different brackets of categories of shooters that we have to account for as well, and make sure that, you know, I didn't want the top guys who I knew were going to be here to be getting, you know, 95 to 100% hit percentages. But at the same time, we want to make sure that the beginners and the people kind of who are in that mid tier, myself included in that tier, most days, sometimes the bottom pack, but that they were also being just able to get those hits as well and make some impacts. You know, they might be a little bit lower than some of the stuff that they're used to, but they're still getting hits. So,
well, let's talk about that for a second. What are the kind of guidelines? Like, how does that affect working within the guidelines of PRS? How does that change how you're setting up the stage? Are there specific requirements for that you have to meet, or
no? There's really only one stage that you have to have a specific requirement on, and that's the PRS wall. That wall has to be built to very specific heights, dimensions, widths, and angles, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So that's specified in the rule book, so we used that when we built it. And that's a tiebreaker stage. That one's timed as opposed to being like a part-time. So everybody gets their time written down, and whoever gets the fast clean kind of usually wins that stage. And it's used as a tiebreaker for if there's guys tied for points, then whoever gets the fastest clean on that stage.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, being a sanctioned event, being a qualifying event, how does all of that work with this being that sort of event? Yeah.
So realistically, as far as MDs go, the match director still has the utmost freedom to design the course of fire in the way that they see the most fit. Pretty much PRS style matches that we have in Canada, you know, and everything from, you know, Saskatchewan to Alberta and BC would technically qualify could qualify, and the guys in Manitoba also put on those amazing matches at Pancake. Those would all be great candidates for a sanctioned PRS match. The sanctioning part is really just making sure that you're following the exact PRS rule book.
Yep.
And whereas I think all the matches that we've had in Alberta and Saskatchewan over the last bunch of years already did for like 98% of it. So it's like a slight tweak in rules. And apart from that, really, they like to give latitude to MDs to design a course of fire that they think is appropriate for their match. We chose, and I chose to make it a more of an American style match with a wide pan of target arrays, lots of target transitions, lots of movement, because that's the trend that we're seeing from the top shooters across the world.
Okay.
They're all go fast, hit the target, transition quickly, large wide pans of targets, and you have to find them in the field. And I mean, we've tried to make it easy for people. We could have giant placards with target numbers beside every target.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those have been very easy to see, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So, you know, it's not like we just bury targets out in the field and say good luck, right? It's so
Why not?
well, I mean, that's more of an NRL Hunter style match. It's like here,
Right,
there,
where you
over
have to
there.
find your target.
They find 3 bears out in the woods somewhere and then go shoot them. So it's that's been kind of the thing. And you know, we've been working fairly closely with Ken from the PRS on, you know, hey, can you review the course of fire for me, make sure that it meets the standards of what you guys are talking about, and I understand the rules correctly, and then secondly, you know, is anything out of whack? Right. So as a first-time match director, I think that was extremely helpful, and we bounced a lot of we got a lot of feedback from a lot of MDs that have been way more experienced than me in this, and just kind of bounce ideas back and forth and make sure that this is fine. And you know, I'm sure I've made a few mistakes on this as well, so we'll correct those for next year. But
like you said, it's first match. If everything went fantastic, you'd be some sort of superhuman.
Yes, and there's only so much time, right? And we still have the business to run and all that stuff. This took about a good solid month and a half away of effort from all of us.
Yeah.
Away from our day-to-day operations of running the company, which is what pays the bills and what allows us to put this match on. You know, we're not making any money off this match. This is not a profit center for us. So, so this was done for the community. A lot of people came to us a bunch of years ago and started complaining about why don't we have any sanctioned PRS matches, and we try to make it happen. And we're like, let's just put it on. And that's where we're at. Now,
Well, I think, you know, if we can sum up what we've been hearing from a lot of the shooters, it is that the match has been very challenging, but that it's been set up and run very well.
I appreciate that.
I mean, you can tell you guys have been you've took some care into the comfort and experience of the shooters. I mean, you've got tents up at every stage so that people have some shade. You guys have water stations everywhere. You've got 2 side-by-sides that are constantly, literally just running from one end of the shooting line to the other, making sure that people have hydration, making sure people have snacks, that sort of thing. I mean, you guys have organized a pretty good match here, I think.
I hope so. Thank you for that. No, and that's been the general feedback from everybody, is like everybody just has been thanking us profusely every time they see us about putting the event on, and you know, they're having fun. They may or may not be hitting things, but they're having fun. You know, with the social event last night, that was a big thing for us as well. We kind of wanted to, you know, everybody's already here, so it's an opportunity for everybody to kind of congregate and get together and just socialize a little bit outside of a match setting. You know, have some good food, have some drinks, and a little bit of music, and that's about it, right? Nothing too crazy, but just an opportunity to do that. And then, so, you know, Madeline from our team put in a ton of work for the last few months planning all the logistics part of it. I mean, she has a background in event planning and stuff, so that was helpful. So as soon as we were kind of like go for this for sure, like 6 months ago when we were on the PRS schedule, we were like, okay, Madeline, you're going to run the event and I'll do the match side, but do all the event logistics stuff. And so she's been busting her butt doing that. And then Kaylee came up from the US from our team, and she's our director of sales, so she came up and has been helping out like crazy as well, and everybody's been awesome. And then Mike and Derek, I couldn't thank these guys enough, honestly, coming in early and on Thursday and helping us. Just jumped right in, and where do you need us, what do you need help with? And honestly, that kind of stuff is invaluable, because I've been here since Sunday early afternoon setting up, and it was just myself and Carly and our 2 little girls and setting up all the props and getting some of the targets pounded in and that kind of stuff. And these guys came in and it was massive helps. So you can't do it on your own. You can't do it by yourself. You need all the help you can get. And I think for next year, we're going to be doing a pretty big, massive call out for volunteers for next year. So we realize we need more help.
Yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
a good point. Yeah.
Well, it looks like we've got our next squad here is just getting their brief, and I'm sure that people are going to be calling for your attention, so I won't keep you too much longer. But thanks for stopping for a couple of minutes and chatting with us. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
Enjoy
you
the
for
sun.
having the match.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
So I need to mention something. While we were talking with Vanya, I was watching the squad just before, and I think somebody might have figured out how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys may have seen it that are watching this, but we had. Hang on a second here. Let me just. I don't know what I'm doing. There, that's what I was trying to
Change
do.
enough cameras there. Yeah, there we go.
Here we go. Okay, so
That's better.
we had the
Why
one
weren't we
person
doing that earlier?
I don't know. We had the one person that had the massive
Pump pillow.
Would you say bum pillow?
Pump pillow.
Is that what it's called? Is a pump pillow?
Yeah, pump pillow is a pretty common term.
That's better than bum
Or
pillow.
squeeze bag. Squeeze bag is also a relatively common term.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So they had they had that massive one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw the last shooter on the last stage. He grabbed that massive bum pillow.
Pump pillow.
No, it's a bum pillow now. And he stuffed it in between the two rungs of that wheelbarrow.
Yep.
Forcing those two rungs out sideways to their extent and preventing them from rocking back in.
Yep.
Essentially creating stability out of those two relatively unstable rungs.
Yep, for sure.
And I didn't exactly get his score, but I counted multiple hits. It looked like he scored a 4, if not a 5 or more on that stage.
I definitely did hear quite a few impact calls on that one. So yeah, good on him understanding how one can utilize their equipment.
Kind of sucks that he was the last person for that squad.
That is the nature of the beast. A lot of times, especially if you are first up to a stage, you are the guinea pig for your squad. People will try to see what you did and see if it is the right stratagem in order to approach that. And if it's good stratagem, you'll see a lot of repetition. If the stratagem is not so successful, then you'll see a lot of people try to mix it up to find their own stratagem.
Now, unfortunately, this squad didn't get to see that either.
Mm-hmm.
And we're starting out just, conventional front with the bag over top of the rung. And unfortunately, a miss at the 600 to start. But we have impact at the 489, moving up to the tire. Now, okay, so he's planting his bag in between the rungs as well, but he's using it just for his rear support while he's up on the wheel.
Yep.
Having a little bit of difficulty with his rifle, but his bolt is closed now.
Fortunately, I got a little bit of movement on focus on my target camera. I'm just going to see if I can't do a quick minor adjustment.
Okay. Unfortunately, no connections with either of the shots off of the tire. So he's back to the right rung. Make sure his dial is in. There goes his bolt. And we have impact at 6. Dial down, bolt closed. No impact at the 489. So you should be back at the 489 now. There's impact. He's dialing up to the 6. So you know what's interesting there, Derek? Our wind is starting to pick up again a little bit, but it kind of seems like it's changed direction.
Yeah, possibly a little bit here. I'm definitely seeing more west heading tendency in our grass a little bit to an
Yeah.
extent. We are a little bit covered by this here pickup truck. However, if you look, unfortunately, you can't see in the camera, but there is a spotter that has a piece of flagging tape tied to their tripod, a very common wind flag device, wind direction device. And yeah, we are headed, the wind is coming from the southeast and headed northwest now.
So our next shooter is just making sure that he's got his initial dope dialed, getting some clarification from the RO on his shooting positions. Magazine is in. It looks like he's going to be ready to go. And we are on. He's off like a shot.
He's moving up the ice.
And he's still moving.
He's crossing the blue line. He's lining up for the shot on net. He's trying to find the net by adjusting his magnification. He finds the
Closes his bolt to shoot at the net.
beside the goalie, looking for that perfect hole.
Unfortunately, he does not hit the net with his
No.
first shot.
Unfortunately, he does not. Nor his second shot.
And he's moving on to the tire.
He's advancing up the ice at a breakneck speed.
Ooh, breakneck.
Breakneck speed.
Sounds reckless.
It might be a little bit reckless, especially moving that quickly with a firearm.
We do promote safe use of firearms here on the
Yes,
show.
yeah, definitely we do. Yep.
Unfortunately, no impact. Do you want the camera off you? I don't know.
Yeah, we can go back to the Chris. Look at that handsome looking
It's
fellow.
me and the Z71 here.
Mhm, yep. You're cool like that.
That's right. The old GMT 800 model.
And our wind has just switched. We are experiencing a very much so westerly heading wind.
Yeah. And
Now, because we are shooting actually at an up in elevation, that actually can help lift the bullet, and we'll actually get a change in the elevation hold at times if there's enough wind like that. So that's something shooters have to be cognizant about.
we're on shot number 8, still looking for our first connection. There it is. Just as the timer goes, we get the first shot.
Shooter does not join the donut club, and I'm guessing the shooter is quite thankful for that.
Well, today, 1 point on this stage,
Mhm.
as you can almost call that the average. Or the handing off a rear bag to the next competitor before walking away.
Sharing of the gear.
The sharing of the gear, the traditional sharing of the gear.
The shooter is using a spider type of bag. These are nice for awkwardly shaped barricades, as the legs of the bag will kind of drop down and kind of conform to the barricade if properly placed.
That's a big if.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure she's got a stable platform before she finds her target. Looks like she's got it. The bolt is closed. Unfortunately, no impact on shot 1. She should be over at the 489 now. Unfortunately, no connection there either. So we're gonna. Now that looks pretty good on the tire there, especially with the rubber of the tire and those little legs of that bag.
I definitely think some good grab there.
A lot more surface area. That must be Dad over there taking photos. Unfortunately, no connection there either.
And the movement.
It's funny hearing a lot of the shooters, when we were talking to Shane earlier, talking about, well, I'm just, I spend all this money on my ammo, and then if I miss a shot, well, it's a wasted ammo. And I'm not sure I fully understand that, but when he was telling me this and watching shooters now, on this stage, which no doubt is challenging and so few impacts, I just keep thinking this is just like me.
This is what it's like to be Chris.
Welcome to my world, fuckers.
I will say, I don't know if we could catch it in the camera, but there's a designated brass catcher, and the brass catcher is actually using a baseball hat, as a form of glove.
Smart play.
I definitely gonna give props to that fellow for the ingenuity. And I think I will be bringing a spare hat to the next centerfire match. For sure. I think that's the new meta.
The new meta.
We are witnessing an evolution in the brass gopher / brass monkey.
It's definitely not
collector.
The use of bum bags to stabilize props.
Yes. Actually, interestingly enough, a pump pillow fill of diapers would actually be a pretty good firm fill.
That actually really would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that would be not bad. Prefer to use used,
and it would
new
be great
ones,
for
definitely.
absorbency to pick up all of your tears when you zero a stage.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, he missed the
see our
brass
brass
catch with
catcher
that
there,
hat.
yeah.
I don't think he'll be doing that again. He's removing some grass from the hat as well.
He caught that one. No,
Yep.
he didn't catch that one. I thought
No.
that one was a catch.
Yeah.
Now we're more interested in the brass catcher than we are in the shooter here.
Yeah.
So we're on position number 2. A little bit of a feeding problem, but he's got his bolt closed. This will be at the 600. There's impact there.
Also, it's tricky as a brass catcher, as each action and cartridge will throw differently, and how fast the operator moves the bolt as well will change the trajectory of the spent shell casing, aka the brass.
You're still concerned for the brass catcher. There was 2 impacts in a row though off of that tire.
Yep. Not off of the rung, however.
No. There we go. Impact at the 489.
Now can he repeat that on the next position, that double tap? Ooh, unfortunately not.
No, because that was also at the 489.
You betcha.
There it is at the 600 again. That's quite the flared muzzle brake he's got there, hey?
Well, he actually has what's called a tuner brake.
Oh, is that what that is?
So there is a mass behind the brake that is adjustable via a thread and retaining device, normally a couple of set screws. So essentially, one changes the barrel harmonics by adjusting that weight. However, the brake itself is a big contributor of weight in the location of the barrel.
Now, if I counted correctly, I believe he got a 5 on that stage.
Mm-hmm. Which is quite good.
Yeah.
And all our brass has been retrieved. Also excellent.
He also got, was it 9 or 10 shots off there?
I think 9.
All in all, I think he ran that stage quite well.
I think he definitely did.
I mean, the wind definitely will die down. You can't hear him on camera, but we're hearing him talk over there talking to one of the other shooters. He's saying it was definitely wobbly. He said, but he was able to make it work.
Exactly. That's the name of the game.
There's the beep. Start for the next shooter. Finds his target fast. The bolt is closed.
Yep, that's that good natural acquisition.
And is one shot, one hit so far.
Notice how he's
Ooh.
sitting on the heel of his left foot. That helps get that body up a little bit more, lock in some stability.
And he's 2 for 2. Unfortunately, not able to make it 3 for 3.
We have another brass catching hat in action as well here as we speak.
That was interesting. I heard one shot.
Mhm.
I heard something metal impact downrange, but I didn't hear any call for impact there.
We do have some targets in rough proximity.
Well, there's
Oh,
impact there. It
yep.
makes me wonder if maybe he shot out of order, which is why there was no call of impact. There's another impact there. That's 4 points for this stage so far. Nothing there. Another impact. That's
There
5.
we go. Yep.
Coming close to the end of the stage here. See the RO looking at his timer.
Yep.
There
Time.
it is.
Just moved in last position. Got 10 shots off.
10 shots and 5 points.
Hit rate of 50%. That is extraordinary for this stage.
I really wonder if that one shot, if he didn't maybe accidentally shoot those targets out of order.
Possibility.
Because
Possibility.
I am quite certain that I heard I heard his shot, and it was the only shot that I could hear down the line anywhere's close.
Mhm.
And I definitely heard something metal impact downrange.
It's almost like you're paying attention.
Almost like I was paying attention
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
You're listening to an impact being called down at stage 2, about 75 or so meters from us. There's your metric right there. How accurate do you think I am?
I don't know.
That's about 75 meters to 80 meters.
I have a rangefinder in the truck.
Don't need a rangefinder. Just wing it.
No, that's rangefinder is very important. Very important kit.
Timer is started on our next shooter. He's using no rear support, it looks like. No connection on the first shot. There's impact
Yeah,
at
there you
489.
Rung that
Moving up.
second target. Oh, struggling a little bit with the bag there.
I think he tried to lay the bag on lengthwise. He is laying the bag lengthwise
Yeah.
instead of sideways.
That's going to give him a little bit more height, which might be good. So he has to drive his chest less into the rungs of the wheelbarrow.
I can see someone wanting to do that.
Yeah.
There's impact at the 600.
Seems to be working for him. Not at the close target, however.
So he's had the 489 once. He's had the 600 once. Nothing there. And he's got to go through a magazine change.
Yeah, he's getting to that 11th and 12th round. We haven't seen a mag change yet.
I think he must have a 5-round magazine.
Yeah, or he strategically, I was about to say, sorry, yeah, that's wrong count, but he may have, normally you tend to want to make a magazine change if you have to at a transition where you're already breaking your position in contact with the rifle.
Right. It seems like he's trying to get as many of his shots in as he can before his timer's out. Those last two did look a little bit rushed, or maybe he just wanted to get up to the wheel.
Yeah, that could be a strategy too. Well, no, you can get to your
No
most
dice.
stable position.
Wasn't able to connect with that last shot.
However, every shot counts, so that is something to consider.
Not sure what the discussion is. I think maybe he's just giving him his brass and
Yep.
talking about the stage. Our next shooter is ready to go. Still had his chamber flag in. It's now out. Magazine is in.
I think we should be able to see some good results of the shooter. I got a good feeling.
Rushes up to the first spot. No dice on the first shot. Unfortunately, not the second either. Choosing to go sideways with his bag on the wheel. I know how that sounds.
Mm-hmm. And our wind has pretty much died off.
Again, makes you wonder if he was set to, hold for a lot of wind. And there's an impact there at 489.
With the instability of those rungs too, sometimes the odd time, a bad movement can work in your favor. A little shake this way, which actually compensates your rifle in the right direction.
Now, I heard somebody over there say impact, but it was relatively quiet.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely impact.
Yeah.
There's consensus amongst the plethora of spotters there.
Some of these new 6mm cartridges are at longer ranges are more difficult to spot the impacts on target, as there's less physical mass reaching the target as larger calibers.
There, that was at the 600. He's going to get 12 shots off. No connection, and timer's out.
Sends ones after the beep. However, no connection.
No luck. Now, I'm unsure whether he's going to get a score of 2 or a score of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did hear the one of 4 spotters call for an impact that none of the other spotters called for. It's going to be a matter of what the RO was hearing. I mean, I'm certain that he would have heard him.
Mm.
But either a 2 or a 3 is what he'll get on that.
The finding of the brass.
Yeah, so much for that 1 minute. A threat is meaningless without follow through.
Mm-hmm. And our wind has picked up again.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of gust right now.
Quite a bit of gusting. Actually, I'm feeling it more coming from the northeast here. So this change is
it's changed again, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's gonna mess with some shooters.
Yeah. We swirling. Getting some final instructions from the RO.
We're gonna see a tripod again here. See if the shooter deploys the tripod low or deploys it high.
That will be the question. Inserting his magazine, it's in. That must mean he's ready to go. And we're on.
Rifle is grounded.
Gingerly lays the rifle on the ground.
Yep.
Deploys the tripod.
In low position.
Trying to make sure that he's quite far back, and I think that being that far back, you can see it's making that rung more wobbly.
Yeah, you're you are implying some leverage on that rung. However, you kind of want that bag far forward, as you want the length of the rifle, the fulcrum, so to say, to be in control of the shooter. Oop, and we're at a rifle go down there. Try to position
Quite the
tripod.
gust right now. Probably good that he's fumbling with his rifle and not shooting at this exact moment.
Yes, again, bolt will stay open until the shooter is in a comfortable position and on target.
That was a quick shot after he got behind the rifle.
Yeah. A little bit of messing around with that rear tripod. That's difficult.
Yeah. Can't seem to find a comfortable position up on the wheel. And then moving back pretty significantly. Okay, the bolt's closed. This will be at the 6. No connection. And no connection again, unfortunately. Now, he just dialed again, but he should be re-engaging the 489.
Yep, he may... Oh, he doesn't get to...
Moot point.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't get to see the results of that last dial.
Now, I suspect that if he had gone for that shot, I'll bet you he would have been engaging the 600 mistakenly.
Yeah, chances are.
So maybe it's a good thing the time ran out.
Yeah, I think the mental game of kind of messing around with that tripod rear support may have thrown him off, as his focus was deferred to the equipment.
Yeah, he was definitely seeing a lot of sideways wobble on those two rungs, being as far back as he was. Now, what's interesting about seeing that with our last shooter is we saw the same thing. We pointed it out when Shane Mansour was shooting. He was very far back on that rung as well, and at the time we had mentioned that, and Shane did seem quite concerned about the amount of wobble. And it makes you wonder if the guys that are a little further up on the rung are experiencing the same amount of wobble as the people who are sitting further back.
Yeah, the possible strategy is try to suppress that wobble by getting weight downward on the rung. With the rifle further back like that,
you just can't do that.
You have less weight on the rung. You have more control of the, again, lever.
Yeah, it seems like you want to kind of get that unstable platform into a position and keep it in that position.
Yeah. There also is it can be a interesting sum game, because you can impart too much force if you're too close into the support and end up working against yourself, as it may want to spring back, or that loading of the prop may be countered to you. Also, never mind the muscle strain of imparting that force.
Right. Unfortunately, we've got 2 shots, 2 misses at the moment. His bag is placed vertically aligned with the wheel again, like we saw a couple of shooters ago. And no impact there either. We lose the rifle again. I noticed that when you brought it up. So we've got one of our other shooters in the background trying to give some advice to the shooter. A third shooter telling him, "Hey, now's not the time." There's first impact right there. Going to dial and engage at the 600 and runs out of time.
Just a little bit of clarification in the squad of the shooters.
Yeah, with
Of
the
the-
spotters, yeah.
Of the target order itself.
Gee, I can't imagine anybody making that mistake. Kind of a moron you have to be to not understand the order of operations
Yes.
for a stage.
We would never have any misunderstanding of a stage
We're-
at all.
We're,
Not,
just, we're not that dumb.
not even a fraction of a percent possibility.
I know everything at all times,
Mhm.
even when I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about.
Fair assessment.
Now, I think that was our last shooter for this squad, wasn't it?
Mhm. Yes, I think it is.
And so what that means is that is going to be the last stage for us for today. And so we saw 4 squads go through stage 1.
Mhm.
And just like we've been hearing over and over again the entire time that we've been doing this, I think the word of the day is challenging.
Yep.
And not just challenging because of the stage itself, but this wind has been playing with people. What people are seeing downrange, or the inability to see certain things that they may want to see downrange, definitely making it challenging. But I mean, still a fun shoot, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think it will, especially once we see the end results, once we see the top shooter and the spread of the top shooter versus the mid pack, will be see what really skilled people are capable of in adverse conditions.
Well, and I guess that's really what will be the proof in the pudding. You know,
Mhm.
we have shooters that are like, oh well, you know, this could be a lot more stable of a stage.
Mhm.
But you know, we even heard it earlier. You know, the difference between 2 shooters. Shane was saying the difference between him and Chase Beckley is like a spread of like 50 points.
Mhm.
And they're shooting the same stages, and
Yep.
there's no shame in having different experience levels. I mean, if I was up there, if Shane's ended yesterday with a score of 32 and Chase Beckley in the 80s, I probably would have been, I don't know, 12
Mhm.
if I'm lucky.
Yep. You
And
would
I
have
think
had
that just indicates the difference in experiences between shooters, and I think that that's a good thing, to be perfectly honest with you. I
Yep.
think it means that you've got new people that are in the game. You've got people that have been around for a period of time, and you got people that have been around for a long time, or just take to it a lot quicker.
yeah,
You know, everybody,
naturally dedicated, experienced.
yeah, you know, everybody is working towards building towards their capability.
Mhm.
And everybody has a different level of capability in different things, and I think that that's the wonder of shooting.
And I think also too, I think some people, like, again, the challenge is good for people to understand what they need to work on. If they have problems in target acquisition, problems in building a stable position, an event like this is really going to open some eyes on skills they need to work on. If you're never challenged on those skills, you're not going to develop them further.
Well, and frankly, that's just competition, whether it's
Mhm.
shooting, whether it's fighting, or whether it's parcheesi.
Mhm.
That's the whole point of competition.
Collecting stamps. Yeah.
Collecting stamps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of times people maybe forget about that. You know, as competitors, as athletes, you know, if you're competing in the worlds, okay, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, the number one goal has got to be to win.
Yep.
It has to be to win at that
Mhm.
level. I think when you're talking about, you know, regional competition, when you're talking about amateur level competition, it has to be as much about seeing where you are and self-improvement as anything else. Because the reality is, you can think that you're a good shooter, you can say that you're a good shooter,
Yep.
you can try to hide
Post nice photos on Instagram.
post nice photos on Instagram
Yep.
that are, you know, post only the video clips of the hits that you make.
Mhm.
You know, we can all do all of those things, all we want, but competition of any type, you can't hide from that.
No.
and it's going to let you know exactly where you are. And I think that's a very valuable thing, and probably one of the most valuable things about amateur competition, especially. So I think we saw some great shooting. I think we saw some people gaining some great experience today. I enjoyed myself.
Yep.
You know, Mr. Ocho, thank you for joining me. Everybody who was in and out watching us, this is over 2.5 hours of shooting on a Sunday morning. So I can certainly understand, you know, if you joined us for part of it, thank you. If you joined it for all of us, or for all of it, wow, get a life, loser.
Probably be me and Mike later.
No, I'm just joking. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for Apex putting on the Rocky Mountain Challenge so that we can sit out in the middle of a field and talk to ourselves like we're self-important assholes.
Yeah.
And thanks for everybody who ends up watching the replay of this. We're out, and we'll see everybody next time.
Stay tuned.